inside the clubhouse. For the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup, it's the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Now, here's Atlantic League Manager of the Year, Mark Mason.
Well, Mace, a crisply played 1-0 victory last night, and you got the walk-off win the night before, and last night, granted there wasn't much offense from either team. It seemed like guys were on top of things, and it looked like they had a good bounce to their step last night. Did you feel like the guys had a little bit better mindset coming off the win the night before, and maybe some of the things that you talked about the day before?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. We're trying to play a little bit looser. We're trying to have some more fun. We know the half is over, basically, as far as making a run at winning the half. So we're just working on trying to get better every day and just do it with a good environment and a good atmosphere and kind of having some fun, which is something we haven't done here for a while. Everybody's been pressing and miserable, for lack of a better word. It's just been guys just trying really hard and not seeing a lot of good results. So we just figured we'd take a different approach and relax and then just let the game come to us and see what happens.
How good was Logan Williamson?
Logan was outstanding. I mean, obviously 8 innings, shutout, baseball, and no matter who you're playing, it's hard to throw shutout baseball. And Roy Merritt was awesome as well. So both pitchers were phenomenal, and Roy made a mistake that we were able to take advantage of. And, there are some mistakes made during the course of the game, but when guys are on top of their game, you don't see those mistakes get hit very often. So my hat's off to both pitchers. I thought they did a great job, and, Logan was really, really good last night.
What all went into keeping him in the game in the 8th inning? I know you talked with Chris from the Daily Record about that a little bit afterward, but there was more than just the 1-0 lead that you were thinking about there, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's hard when you're managing the game in that situation, because when it's a 0-0 game, you're going to leave your starter out there until he gives up at least one run because he's doing his job, So it's hard to manage shutouts, obviously. Usually in that situation, when we take the lead and it's that late in the game, I would usually pull my starter, because at that point the first hitter is going to be the tying run, and if that guy gets on, then it's the winning run, potentially. And you don't want a guy to throw a game like that to get the loss. But, I talked to Logan after the inning was over, after the 7th inning, and the pitch count was getting high, but he's been up there before. And I wanted, El Monte, for whatever reason, is not switch hitting this series. He's strictly going left-handed. So the fact that he was going left-handed, I wanted to give Logan an opportunity to have the left on left. He was able to get him out. Then I gave him Taveras, and Taveras got on base with a walk. And at that point, I didn't want to bring a right-hander in there to face Delwyn for 2 reasons. I wanted to try to keep Delwyn on the right-hand side, and I wanted to be able to keep Taveras close to first base. With a right-hander in there, he probably steals that base more readily than he would with a left-hander. And then if he was able to get Delwyn, then I'm going to leave him in there for Travis, because it's another left-on-left situation. So at that point, I had made the decision to go with him to start the 8th inning, and I was basically going to let him see at least the first 4 hitters at that point if it got that far. And then we would go to the bullpen for the 9th.
And you did with Judy, and he really attacked him last night. He really cut it loose. Looked pretty good from where you were sitting.
Yeah, he really did. He threw the ball hard. I think he actually picked up more velocity as the inning went on. Maybe it was adrenaline or just trying to slam the door and get out of there. The only pitch that I thought maybe was a mistake was a breaking ball that was left up that got hit for a base hit. Somewhere early in the inning. I can't remember who it was now. But it might have been Russo, I think, the leadoff hitter. But, so, I mean, Josh did a great job coming in and saving that for Logan and for the ball club. So, it was a well-pitched game on both sides. And we played really good defense last night. We made some fine plays out there. That always goes along with it. They made some good plays for Roy as well. So, just an even game, 2 hours and 4 minutes, I guess it was. So, it's nice to play 2:04 and get a win. But no, so it was a good game. Those are fun games to manage. Every every hitter is a potential winning run or a tying run. So those are a lot of fun.
What do you make of Calderon, what you've seen so far, being a young guy, and in particular last night when Merritt had him off balance on curves all night, including the previous pitch, and then he gets another one. It's a mistake, but he's able to hit it.
Yeah, and I mean it's to Jacobs. I mean it's to his to his credit that he's able to hit the mistake. I mean pitchers do make mistakes during the course of the game, and a lot of them you see fouled straight back over top of the net toward where you're sitting. But so I mean it is, and that's for both sides. I mean a lot of hitters miss mistakes. They foul them off or pop them up, whatever it is. That's just part of hitting. It's hard to hit. And, to his credit, he stayed back on that pitch, and he might have been sitting on it, I think, too, because he had gotten so many of them in the first two at-bats. He might have been looking for that curveball. And, so he was able to do a good job with it, obviously getting it out of the park.
Well, and lastly tonight, Mace, you've got Lerew making this start, and he's been solid for you. He's given a chance every time out. How's he doing with having been in so many close games and really overdue for a win, it would seem?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that he really looks at it that way. He goes out there and competes, and he's going to try to do the best he can. And whether we win or lose the game, I know he understands that he's a part of that, but he's not in total control of that. He's not going to strike everybody out. He's been a horse as far as getting deeper into games and giving us a good pitch count when he's out there. We know we can let him go for a while. So it's like any other pitcher, any other night, as long as you're locating and changing speeds. And, I think especially for a starting pitcher, if you can get through that lineup the first time through with like two pitches and not show the third one, that gives you something else to have in your back pocket the next time through. And usually the first and fourth innings are the innings that worry me the most for starting pitchers, because the first inning is your adrenaline loaded and the fourth inning is second time through the lineup. So usually if you can get through the first and the fourth, you're usually having a good night and you'll be out there at least through 5 or 6. So hopefully Anthony can do that for us tonight. And he's a competitor. I love having him here. And he's a good teammate, and he'll give us everything he got.
All right, Mace. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Revs manager Mark Mason on the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. We'll have the starting lineups in first pitch up next.
All right, let's try this one. Wherever you are, WOYK is... That blows. How about wherever you are, WOYK is watching. Oh, no, that's creepy. Let's try this. Take Sports Radio 1350 on the go with the new WOYK mobile apps. Available for download today. Bingo. The new Sports Radio 1350. Available anywhere via the WOYK mobile apps. First in York, first in sports.
Runners know the challenge. It's not the uncompromising weather. It's not the pounding repetition. It's not knowing how to dig deep as you start the climb of that last hill. For runners, the challenge is the discipline to keep running. Flying feet. Casual runners, amateur runners, hardcore runners, no matter what level runner you are, Flying Feet Sports Shoes is with you every step of the way. Over the years, Flying Feet has become the leader in athletic footwear and properly fitting the feet of runners throughout Central PA. For those searching for that discipline, Flying Feet provides the latest shoe innovations, the accessory equipment, and the inspiration to keep on running. Greg Baum and his staff have the knowledge and the true understanding of what running is all about. As one local runner put it, Flying Feet's family, and all runners are welcome. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Looking for a break from the same old company outing this year? Well, look no further than the York Revolution in Santander Stadium. An event with the York Revolution is 0% more expensive than your typical room rental at a traditional venue, but it's 100% more fun. Whether it's an employee appreciation picnic or a company meeting, the staff at the York Revolution will create an experience like no other, with the same cost as a boring meeting. To find out more, give Kaylee Swanson a call at 801-4498. That's 801-4498.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
set to go. Game 2 of this 4-game series against the Skeeters here tonight as Anthony Lerew goes through his warm-ups. Starting lineup for Sugar Land brought to you by Flying Feet. They will have Denny Almonte leading off again in center. Willie Taveras will DH and hit second. Delwyn Young at first base bats third, hitting cleanup and catching tonight is Travis Scott. Kevin Russo in right field will hit fifth. Batting sixth is the left fielder Johan Lamonte, who has been named the K-Man tonight. Ryan Adams will make his Sugar Land debut, playing second base and hitting seventh. Batting eighth at third base is Patrick Palmero. And Amadeo Zazueta will play short and bat ninth. Again, it's Almonte, Taveras, Young, Scott, Russo, Lamonte, Adams, Palmero, and Zazueta. For the Skeeters, that lineup brought to you by Flying Feet. And facing Anthony Lerew, who is ready to work here this evening. Almonte digs in. And he will bat from the left, which he did all night last night. And our Dasher Investment Services first pitch is swung on and missed. Underway tonight at 6:35. 0-1. And he fouls it away, left field side. Almonte hitting 206. He's been better from this side of the plate, and it would indicate perhaps he's given up the switch hitting. As Lerew winds and fires, and it slipped high and away. De La Cruz had to nearly leap to catch it. Almonte in the game last night, 2 for 4. Had 2 of their 7 hits. 1-2. And he swings and dribbles one to short. Early chance for Starlin Rodriguez. He throws him out at first. So Rodriguez, the start at shortstop tonight. They want to see what they have there. And they feel like his skill set might translate better to short. Some guys have an easier time there than they do at second. And during BP and in warm-ups and everything, he's incredibly smooth at shortstop. Here's Willie Taveras. First pitch is high and tight. Taveras DHing tonight, hitting at 257. At 1-0, and he swings and fouls it off, pops it out of play to the right field side. Taveras against the Revs, hitting 294 with 5 of his 15 stolen bases. Next one is a little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. Revs in the alternate whites tonight with the shoulder piping. As Taveras taps one toward third and foul, Valdez comes up to glove it. Skeeters are in the alternate black jerseys with the royal blue numbers and letters. Pitch and a fastball just outside. A full count. Our plate tonight is Dave Shirk. First base is the Wizard, Tom Gandolfo. Buzz Albert at third. Payoff pitch is pop foul, back and out of play. Skeeters 8-21 on the road, having lost 8 straight. At home, they've won 13 of their last 14. They are 25-11 at home. Pitch here is a called third strike. Lerew comes in and ties up Taveras, who could not pull the trigger. And 2 up, 2 down to start the night. Lerew 3-4, a 3.59 ERA in 12 starts. 62 2/3 innings, 59 hits. He's tied for 4th in the league in walks with 27, but a lot of innings to go with that. 50 strikeouts, almost 2-1. Here's Delwyn Young, who takes a strike. Switch hitter will bat from the left. On the 0-1. That is a called strike as Lerew nails the outside corner with it. Young hitting at 241, 4 home runs and 18 knocked in. And Lerew winds and fires and misses high and away. 1-2. And a swing and a well-hit ball to right. Boggs going back on it. He looks, and it's gone. Home run off the bunting by Cannonball Charlie's perch, the Cannonball corner. And Delwyn Young, with his 5th of the year, jumps on one here with 2 outs in the first. And Sugar Land with a 1-0 lead. 5th home run for him. Just the 4th that Lerew's given up. For Sugar Land, it's only the 16th that they've hit on the road compared to 25 at home, but opens the scoring tonight. 1-0 lead in the first on the solo shot. Here's Travis Scott, and he lays off a little bit high. Young last year was one of the top run producers in the league. He hit 20 home runs last season as Lerew comes back and fires a strike. The good thing is Lerew got the first 2 hitters, so nobody was on. Next one is down and away. And it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Scott hitting at .232, couple of home runs, 17 driven in. 2-1, and it cuts down and in, and glanced off De La Cruz's glove, and then the plate on Dave Shirk's shin guard. The Revs last night snapped a 6-game losing streak head-to-head against Sugar Land. It is perhaps the opponent they've had the most difficulty with the last 3 seasons. With the win last night, now 4-9 against Sugar Land this year. Scott checking on the count at home plate. 3-1 pitch is grounded to second, and Patterson is there. He'll glove it, tosses over to first, and that will retire the side. But Delwyn Young with a first-inning long ball, solo shot, 1 run, 1 hit, and nobody left. At the end of a half inning, it's the Skeeters 1 and the Revs coming up.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Boom. Cannonball fires one off as the Revs come to bat. 1-0 Sugar Land, and York's lineup brought to you by Flying Feet tonight. Starlin Rodriguez leads off at short. Eric Patterson is the second baseman, hitting second. Batting third is Nick Ferdinand in left field. Jacob Calderon, who provided the only offense last night, will hit cleanup and DH. Brandon Boggs in right field bats fifth. Hitting sixth is the catcher, Luis De La Cruz. Talbot Nash at first base will hit seventh. Sean Smith in center field gets the start tonight and bats eighth. And Wilson Valdez at third base will hit ninth. Again, Rodriguez, Patterson, Ferdinand, Calderon, Boggs, De La Cruz, Nash, Smith, and Valdez for York. Facing Sugar Land righty Matt Wright, and his first pitch of the night is over for a strike on Rodriguez, who comes in hitting at .294, 17 games with York. 0-1, and it misses outside. Tonight is his first official start at shortstop. He started the one-inning game a week ago that was rained out. 1-1 pitch is foul tip. Off the glove, I believe it was, of Travis Scott, who starts behind the plate tonight. Rodriguez has hit safely in 11 of his last 12 games played, hitting .333 on that stretch. And right, the big righty winds and delivers, and a swing and a high chop at short. Zezweta charges up, and he gloved it. Rodriguez he must have slipped and never did get out of the box, and he's thrown out. Zezweta stopped and noticed that Rodriguez was still near the batter's box, and he took his time and made a soft toss over to first from the middle of the infield grass. Chong meets Starlin in the dugout right away to make sure he's okay. Must have slipped trying to get out of the box. That was the highest chop I think I've ever seen hit. Zezweta got to it on one hop and had plenty of time as it turned out. Here's Patterson, who drives one deep in center. Almonte back, and it's off the LED boards. Bounces away. He's going to have 3 on it and in with his 3rd triple of the year. The Atlantic League single-season record holder from a year ago with 17 of them. His 3rd this season, and drilled it off the base of the fence just to the right of the batter's eye in center. Now Patterson jumps on one early and nails it deep. Any other part of the park, you'd have a home run. But he hit it off the base of the bright lights in right center. One more triple, he'll move into the top 10 in league history career-wise in that department. Here's Nick Ferdinand, the infield halfway in, and right misses high, as the Revs try to answer right away here in the 1st inning. 26th triple in his Revs career for Eric Patterson. 1-0, and a cutter over for a strike. Patterson now has hit safely in 8 of 10 games since coming back from the injury. Ferdinand, meanwhile, he's been held hitless in back-to-back games for the first time with York. A 1-1, that's down and away. Overall, he's at .319, 6 homers, 11 batted in 25 games. Now right ready. And the 2-1 swung on, chopped to third, one high hop, and it's gloved there by Palmeiro, who fires to first. He took a look at Patterson, who tried to distract him, and then faked going, but Palmeiro there to glove it and throw across for the out. So they'll have to try to get Patterson home with 2 outs after banging the 1-out triple off the fence. And here's Jacob Calderon, who DHs and hits cleanup tonight. And Wright will go from the stretch. First offering is swung on and lined to right field, a base hit. Calderon with a BB single into right, and Patterson in to score. And it's a 1-1 game as the Revs answer right away. Jacob Calderon, the hard line single to right, his 9th run driven in just 14 games with York. So they do get him in with 2 outs. So much of the focus and so many of the struggles in the first half have been with men in scoring position. That is a big hit. Here's Brandon Boggs now, who takes strike 1. Boggs hitting at .254. It's 4 home runs, 18 knocked in. He doubled last night. One of only 4 hits, the Revs' fewest in a win this season, as Wright misses down low. And it's a 1-1 count. The big righty, Matt Wright, listed at 6'5", 250. He's been with Sugarland since their inaugural 2012 season. A 1-1, and he misses up high. He is listed as an assistant pitching coach to Jeff Scott on their roster, so he is a player coach. Now the 2-1, and it's swung on and fouled back as that bangs off something upstairs. 2-2. Matt Wright coming in, 3-2, a 3.53 ERA in 12 starts. He looks in, comes set. And the 2-2, breaking ball, pop foul out of play down the left field side. 58 2/3 innings for Wright. 57 hits, 21 walks, 53 strikeouts. Opponents have hit 249. That's what he's done for the season. Now the stretch, 2-2. And a swing and a pop-up. At first, Delwyn Young into foul territory. Creeps backward and gloves it. Backpedaling. That'll end the inning. But the Revs, a big 2-out RBI hit by Jacob Calderon, who had the only run driven in on the home run last night. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. We go to the second. It's a 1-1 game.
Broadway Transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
Tied at 1, we go to the top of the second. Kevin Russo to lead things off. As Limo gets the welcome from the Revs fans as he comes out on deck. Well, something being thrown aside from the home plate area. And now we're ready as Russo digs in. And Lerew's first pitch of the inning is right there for a strike. And some dark clouds around. Looks like it could potentially be stormy, but we understand we're fine. There's a fastball down low. 1-1 on Russo, who's hitting at 265, but against the Revs, 354. Had 2 hits last night, and he's got one tonight as he slaps this one up the middle and a base hit over toward right center a hair. And he has singled in each of his last 3 overall at bats. And here comes our K-man tonight, Johan Lamonte, who returned last night for the first time, went 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Lerew the stretch. First pitch is a little low. One-0. And he pulls a ground ball right side. It'll crawl through into right field. And Russo continues on. He will make it first to third. A seeing eye hit as Limo finds the hole and rolls it through. Barely made it to shallow right, but gets the job done. And they're at the corners with nobody out. If he hits it at Patterson, it's a double play, but of course he finds the hole. Now here is Ryan Adams, who may want to tuck his jersey in. Making his Skeeters debut. He starts at second base tonight. Why bother telling him to tuck it in, even though it's part of the rules. First pitch is a fastball for a strike. By the way, Starlin Rodriguez does stay in at short after slipping coming out of the box on his first inning swing. He is okay. Adams just signed the other day. Played in 29 big league games with the Orioles as Lerew misses low with a curve. That was back in 2011. Hit .281. Former second-round pick of the Orioles out of high school in New Orleans. Now Lerew the stretch. The 1-1. And a curveball in the dirt. Revs would trade giving up the go-ahead run for a double play. They're set up to turn two. Lerew pitched well his last time out, but lost to Chin-Ming Wang in Southern Maryland on Thursday, 3-2. There's the 2-1. Runner goes from first, and it's lined to right field for a hit. In to score is Russo. Lamonta stopped halfway after running on it to try to avoid two. And he had to stop and make sure it got by. It went right past him, and Ryan Adams, the RBI single to right in his first Sugarland at bat. 3 consecutive singles to begin the inning, and it's 2-1 Sugarland. Skeeters back on top. Kevin Russo again. He leads off the inning and scores on it. Now first and second, still no outs. Patrick Palmeiro the hitter. And Lerew the pitch, and he swings and fouls one back and out of play. Palmeiro hitting at .248. 4 homers, 27 knocked in. Josh Judy struck him out looking to end the game last night. Lerew the stretch, the 0-1, and he grounds it left side, and that's through. They have found every hole this inning. And Lamonta up to third. He'll stop there as Ferdinand fires into the plate. 4 straight singles, and the bases are loaded with a run home and still no outs. It's another one. He gets a ground ball. If it's at somebody, it's a double play, but he finds the hole. And so far, that kind of inning. And here comes Fletch. He will spend an early visit. Take a look at our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report tonight. Revs have Brad Bergeson and Ian Durham out for the season. Mikey Reynolds sidelined with the finger injury, but getting closer to return. Brian Pounds, the knee injury, and he should be back shortly. It's your WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report. 4 players currently inactive due to injury. But one of the major issues in this first half, at one point, they have had 10 different players sidelined due to injury. And they have lost a combined 206 man games inactive due to injury, not counting active players unavailable to play due to injury at various times. Only 9 players have been active for every game since the start of the season. Here's Amadeo Zazueta with them loaded. First pitch after the visit is down and away. He is hitting .259 with a home run, 14 driven in. Revs again set up to turn 2. They trail 2-1 here in the second inning. Pitch is looped to center. Smitty coming in. It'll drop. A bloop hit. And in to score is Lamonta. Smitty juggles it and then heaves it to third base. And 2 runs will score. And it's 4-1 Sugarland here in the second inning. 5 consecutive singles. And then Smitty, who just pulled up a little soon, looking to maybe throw it in before he had it. He will be charged with an error, allowing a second run to score on that play. As his way to the bloop, it scores Lamonta. Adams went to third and then comes in on the error. And here is Denny Almonte with first and second, and he swings and misses as Lerew went off speed on him. Revs played an errorless game last night and only made 1 error the previous 3 games. Pitch here is swung on and missed. As Lerew went off speed again. Revs a little stirring in the bullpen. 4-1 Sugarland, 5 straight singles. Now the stretch and the 0-2. Swung on, chopped foul, first base side. The bloops and the seeing eye hits just drive you insane, at least me. There's another 0-2. And this one looped in the air to left. Ferdinand will move toward the corner, lines it up, makes the catch. And that is the first out of the inning as he fires into third base. 1 away. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Well, 1 down. Here's Willie Taveras with first and second still. Lerew the pitch. It is a check swing on a changeup, and on the appeal to first, they say he held off. Taveras struck out looking his first time up. Lerew had given up exactly 2 earned runs, no more, in each of his last 5 starts. Pitch, and it's bounced foul off the Sugarland dugout. The Skeeters, though, out to a 4-1 lead here in the second inning tonight. Larew's allowed 3 earned or fewer in 11 of his 12 total starts. 7 straight of 3 earned or fewer. 5 straight of only 2 earned. He deals, and this one's popped up. In the infield, Valdez marches onto the grass, slaps the glove off his thigh, and one-hands it. Playing at third base again tonight. He catches it on the infield grass. And there's 2 away. Now it'll set up a matchup with Delwyn Young as Lerew tries to limit the damage. And shut down that bullpen as well and stay in this game for a while. Young, a solo home run to right in the first inning. And Lerew ready. And the first pitch, he swings and misses. Good changeup, and Young was fooled badly. We've seen some awkward swings from hitters against his changeup here this inning, despite the 5 straight hits to start the inning. Now Lerew ready. The 0-1, and it's way high. Fastball at 91. Lerew has worked into the 6th in 5 of his last 6 starts. The only exception was in Sugarland, but he was also coming back on short rest that day. A couple of double headers during that week. The 1-1 fastball doesn't get the call, just missed away. Now the 2-1. And it's sliced foul toward the Skeeters bullpen and left. As it bounces down into the corner, 2-2. His third start against Sugar Land. He lost in Texas June 14th. 4 innings, 4 runs, 2 earned. No decision here at home against them June 5th. 6 2/3, only 2 runs on 3 hits. He fires and missed inside. It'll be a full count. He hopped off, hoping to get it. And the runners will be on the move here with 3-2 and 2 outs. On the stretch. And the payoff pitch, change up, and he cues a foul over to Travis Scott, who's on deck. 3 runs home in the inning. Sugar Land up 4-1. Here in the top of the second tonight. By the way, our game time temp was 89 degrees, if you were wondering. You're in a cloudy night. And Lerew set once more. Back to the plate. And a ground ball hits softly to second. Patterson charges up, gloves it, and underhands it to first to end the inning. So it could have been worse. 3 runs were home before Lerew had recorded an out. They will shut down the bullpen as Fletch motions down there, and he will stay in this game. He retires the final 3 of the inning. 3 runs scored, 2 earned, 5 hits, 1 error, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 4-1 Sugar Land.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.
Grabbing an extra maple donut for later.
The brush back.
Brushing the white off your shirt after biting into a fresh powdered sugar maple donut.
The ground rule double.
Quickly retrieving the 2 maple donut holes that got away.
What? 5-second rule. Charlie Donut and the Boys of Summer have a winning lineup waiting for you right now at Maple Donuts. Pick up a fresh hot cup of Maple Donuts famous coffee and one of Charlie Donut's 58 varieties. The perfect double play combination.
The steal.
Opening the box only to discover that someone stole your favorite maple donut.
Hey.
The home run.
Showing up at work with a Maple Donuts Baker's Dozen.
Maple Donuts tastes right. Tasty bread. Anytime, day or night. For appetite delight. Maple Donuts taste right.
Joel's Painting and Contracting is a proud sponsor of the York Revolution. They are also a partner in the maintenance of Santander Stadium. Joel's Painting and Contracting is the highest rated painting company in York and Lancaster County. Now is the time to call for great deals on all of your interior and exterior projects. A community partner with thousands of happy clients. Hit a home run of Joel's Painting and schedule an appointment today or give them a call at 717-471-4273. That's 717-471-4273 for Joel's Painting and Contracting.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Revs will look to answer back, trailing 4-1. Luis de la Cruz to lead off. Matt Wright's first pitch is a little bit high. Sunday in that doubleheader against Bridgeport, they trailed 5-0, came back 5-3. Here's the 1-0. And this one ripped and a base hit to left. De La Cruz starts the inning with a single over the outstretched glove of Zazueta at short. The Revs with 3 hits from their first 6 hitters tonight. Game 2 on Sunday, they did come back. They were down 2-0, came back to win, and they trail by 3 early tonight. The point is, though, recent days, they've shown a little ability to come back, and they will need to do it again tonight. Here's Talvin Nash. And right, a move to first base. De La Cruz back standing. One major missed opportunity last night in the middle innings came when Calderon and De La Cruz both had wide calls on them. Pitch to Nash is over for a strike. Otherwise, the Revs, it was the inning where Boggs was hit by a pitch. they could have potentially had a couple of walks around that and had the bases loaded for Nash. He seems to be coming on of late as Wright misses just outside, a ball and a strike. He did have one of the 4 hits last night. Went 1 for 3. He's hit safely in 4 of the last 5 games. Now Wright delivers, and it's in the dirt. Scott got a piece, keeps it close enough as he tracks it over to his right. De La Cruz not going to attempt anything, certainly with nobody out. Overall, Nash hitting a .220 in 11 games played. He's driven in 3. Looking for his first long ball. Now Wright ready. The 2-1. And a swing and a loop to center, and that'll get down for a hit. He hit it off the end of the bat, but dumps it in. And the inning begins with back-to-back singles. Now Nash has hit safely in 5 of his last 6. Got it off the end, but dumps it in center. And it's first and second with nobody out. Sean Smith to the plate. Smitty back in there tonight, hitting at 189, a home run and 2 ribbies. Corners are in the event that he may bunt. And Wright delivers, he does square, and bunts foul. Back behind home on the first attempt. Now they will try to advance the runners, that is, for Wilson Valdez, who's on deck. Trailing 4-1 here in the second. All right, ready. And Smitty squares. Oh, and in self-defense, he bunts foul. Right through it, up near his face. And Smitty bunts foul, trying to dive out of the way over toward the first base dugout. 0-2. Hard ball from Matt Wright, who goes up and in. Seeing Smitty square. 0-2. And he still showed a bunt, and Wright misses low with a breaking ball. And he may consider still doing it with 2 strikes. Wright the stretch. He holds and now spins and looks De La Cruz back. And the fans yell at him. Right ready, and the 1-2. He does square again, trying to jump back on a fastball in, and he's rung up on the appeal down to first, and the wizard Tom Gandolfo punches him out. Said that he didn't pull it back quickly enough. He was trying to jump out of the way, and certainly with 2 strikes, Matt Wright had extra leeway, and he went in off the plate, uncomfortably in. And Smitty unable to pull it back in time while jumping out of the way at the same instant. So a strikeout on the failed bunt attempt. And here's Wilson Valdez, who has picked it up, and he swings first pitch, chops a foul into the stands, third base side. Valdez hitting at 257. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 9, though, batting .379 his last 9 games played. And a bunt hit each of the last 2 nights. The 0-1, and he swings and drills one foul. Wright came in, Valdez unable to keep it fair. Hits it hard over the stands in left and out of sight. 0-2. It is social media night here at the stadium, and they've photoshopped the Facebook thumbs up like icon right next to Wilson Valdez's face on the video board. The 0-2, breaking ball, he pops it in the air, left field. Lamont over toward left center a few steps, he squeezes it. And that is out number 2. That thumbs up sign next to Valdez, smiling face on the board, I may add. And here comes Starlin Rodriguez. The Revs again will try to get a run home with 2 outs. They had back-to-back singles to start the inning, but a missed bunt attempt, a fly out, and now it's Rodriguez who grounded out to short in the first. He slipped coming out of the box, but was able to stay in. First pitch is fouled back, straight back. Revs trail 4-1 here in the second inning. And now right, the burly right-hander comes set. Couple of glances back and delivers, and a curveball grounded sharply to third, but right at Palmero. Tough to get it by him. He'll step on the bag unassisted for the inning-ending force. Revs create a threat, but are unable to do anything with it. 2 singles, 2 runners left. We head to the third. It's 4-1 Sugarland.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Waking up America like no one else. The Ducks beat your Hawks 2-1. Your Hawks. I'm just saying your Hawks. I got nothing against Anaheim. We're friendly to Bruce Boudreau, our former coach of the Caps. Sure. But my agent is a Hawks fan who lives in Chicago, and my buddy lawyer Dave is from Chicago, and he's a Hawks fan.
And our new local guy, Danny Z, is a Chicago guy.
I know I'm going to root for the boss's team whenever possible.
See, Bus, I love those Blackhawks too. Go Hawks.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Top of the third, 4-1, Sugarland in front. And Lerew looking for a bounce-back inning here in the third. One of the runs was unearned. Travis Scott will lead things off. Paul Braverman will join me now. And hello, Paul.
What's up, Darryl?
Not much. Hoping for a comeback tonight. Long way to go to make that happen.
Well, if we get that bounce-back inning, I'll take 2 hits an inning all night. If that's how it shakes out. That would be a recipe for success.
Travis Scott a ground out to second base, his first time up this evening. First pitch of the inning is down low. It's the middle third of the order with Russo and Lamont to do also.
Talvin's coming around. He's on base more and more often.
The 1-0 pitch, and it's slapped on the ground and through into left. Are they ever going to stop finding every hole?
Single to death. 5 straight singles in the second, then a 1-2-3 inning after that. That's their 6th single, and then a home run by Delwyn Young at the beginning, which, you know, you can't get too upset about solo shots. Home runs are accidents. Accidents happen, but it's tough to get singled to death like that. You remember a game here in 2011 where JVB had pretty good stuff and just got singled to death.
I sure do.
And they could just never come back. That's what it feels like here.
Here's Kevin Russo, who takes low. It is the 7th hit, the 3rd ground ball single that has found a hole, and then one other one that was a bloop dumped into shallow center. So that's a snapshot of what Lerew's given up. He deals, and this one lined, and that one is a solid base hit into left center. Out of the reach of Rodriguez, and back-to-back singles to start the inning. Russo now 2 for 2 on the night. He came in tonight hitting .354 against York, almost 100 points better than what he's done overall.
Well, Limo's the K-man, and that's standard policy when a player returns to Santander Stadium as a former Rev with a new club. Your first night back, it's all handshakes and hugs. You're the K-man the second night back. That's how it was with Chris Walker and some others. So,
well, Lerew starts him off with a strike. Limo had one of those seeing eye hits in the second. He pulled a grounder. If it was at somebody, it would have been a double play, but he rolled it through into right, and the rally was on. Swings here and lines one to left center. Another base hit. Scott will be sent. He will score, and Johan Lamonta with an RBI single lined the other way. It's 5-1, and they are motioning for the bullpen to get ready quicker.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a guy getting singled to death and bad luck, but in 2+ innings when you've allowed 8 singles, I mean, maybe it's just not your night. I mean, there's a threshold where it stops being bad luck, and unfortunately this might turn into a bullpen night, and I guess Limo showed us all he wanted to about his thoughts on being the K-man tonight. Made short work of that promotion.
Yeah, let's not do that again. Although it is standard procedure, it must be done at least once.
Well, we've got Travis Scott on this club, too. No, albeit he was not a Rev as long as Limo, and it was 3 years ago, but I wouldn't be surprised if the breadsticks chant found his way to his at-bat tomorrow night, if he would be in the lineup.
Even though he had it last night?
Was he the K-man last night?
He was.
Well,
I don't know if that's crossing the line.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 nights. I wouldn't rule anything out.
Here's Ryan Adams after a visit from De La Cruz, and Lerew fires a strike. First and second with nobody out. Last inning began with 5 straight singles. This one has begun with 3 in a row.
Kevin Russo tomorrow night, former Yankee. He can take it. He likes a little abuse.
It's the 0-1. And that missed a little bit high. As the sharply dressed Jason Bristol from CBS 21 is in the house.
Yeah.
He always manages to outdress me. Most do.
That's I was going to say, that's low-hanging fruit for me. That's no accomplishment.
It's the 1-1. And it just missed up. A cutter from Lerew. Adams an RBI single to right in the second inning. He's got one of the knocks here in his Atlantic League debut. Lerew steps off. 5-1, Sugarland the lead. We mentioned that Lerew over his last 5 starts in a row has allowed exactly 2 earned runs, no more. And 3 earned or fewer in 11 of his 12 starts this season. A rare rough one as he misses down low, ball 3, 3-1 on Adams. He has worked into the 6th in 5 of his last 6 starts, but bullpen activity in the 3rd tonight. The only exception on that stretch was in Sugarland, as we mentioned, and he was on short rest that day. Now the 3-1. And it's ripped at third. Valdez right there. Fires to second. Patterson bounces the turn to first, and Nash unable to hang on. Glances off his glove to the sidewall, and in to score is Russo, and it's 6-1. It'll be a fielder's choice. 5-4 on the out. And a throwing error on Patterson, the Revs' second error in the first 3 innings tonight. I don't know if he hung on to that too long. It looked like he intentionally bounced it, but I don't know. Nash unable to make the pick. Kind of an in-between hop for him, I guess.
Yeah, at the risk of sounding cliche, when it rains, it does pour, because Telvin Nash has had such a great homestand defensively at first. He's really been light on his feet. He's made a lot of plays in the air that were not gimmies, tough foul balls up against walls, dugout screens, what have you. Has had a couple nice stretches over there. Just couldn't pick that one.
It's Patrick Palmero who looks at a strike. A second run home in the inning. Adams at first with one out. Oh, and the next one hits Palmero in the hands. Lerew didn't want to do that, and Palmero's down hurt. Down on both knees. Max Mahaffey, their athletic trainer, coming out right away. Could hear it smack, and he went down immediately. And they only have one position player on their bench active for tonight, Chris Wallace, who's their other catcher.
Yeah, that's no theatrics there by Palmero. I mean, that was polishing bone. I mean, you could hear it up here. That's pretty painful, and hopefully he doesn't have a broken finger or anything serious.
Man. You know, at the Revs' expense, he has been fun to watch play third base. He's a solid young player and obviously comes from great lineage.
He's been very good. And, you know, even though he is a younger guy than your typical Atlantic League player, both in age and experience, you know, it's never a surprise when a guy who grew up in big league clubhouses, who had a father who played Major League Baseball, has a very professional and calm approach to the game. I mean, even though he's on the other side of the infield, he reminds me a lot of Chad Tracy, you know, who grew up in big league clubhouses. His dad managed 3 major league teams, and, you know, you see kind of the same, I don't want to call it swagger because it's not unprofessional or anything, but the kind of approach to the game that somebody who grew up in pro baseball before he got into playing it would only have.
Well, we've got a situation here because Dave Shirk just informed Palmero after all that he had to call a foul ball on him because it made contact with the bat.
Yeah, and you know what? The Skeeters seem to...
Must have been a glancing blow and hit both.
The Skeeters seem not too upset about it. I mean...
Gaetti had an initial look like, you got to be kidding me, but he didn't really carry on about it.
Yeah, I think you have to show a little bit of dissension just to keep the umpire honest, but I think all in all, there's not too much to protest there. Otherwise, I think you'd be seeing a longer argument out of Gaetti, but he's going to let it go.
So it goes as a foul ball, a painful one at that. It's 0-2.
He earned it.
Lerew with the pitch, and he rips it at third, and it handcuffs Valdez, and that stung him into left. Ferdinand over near the line. He'll fire to third, and beating the throw is Adams, and it ends up being first and third. Even better for Sugarland, and Mace coming out. That's going to be it for Lerew here early tonight.
Well, again, at the Revs' expense, but Palmero deserved that after taking one off the fingers. And then, you know, home plate umpire Dave Shirk, I mean, he felt bad for him when he had to inform him that it was a foul ball. I mean, you feel bad for the guy, which was the right call. And then he ends up, you know, you said handcuffed. That's the perfect way to describe it. Bad late in-between hop on Valdez and gets a single out of it. Good for the player, but again, more bad bounces for the Revs. And now we got Chong Choi out for a medical issue on our side.
Yeah, Valdez right away took his glove off, was shaking his hand. Hopefully it maybe hit him in the heel.
Boy, that's poetic justice, isn't it? I'm sure that's the way they're seeing it in the Sugarland broadcast booth after all
seriously.
that.
Now Chong is trotting off the field, so it appears that Valdez will be fine to stay in. But
and anything like that, anytime you don't see Chong and the player heading back to get a quick x-ray in the clubhouse, it probably means it's just a bruise.
Well, it was ripped, and Palmero will get the base hit. So Paredes comes in. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. 6-1 Sugarland here in the top of the third inning. They have their 10th hit. Lerew will go 2 1/3, 10 hits given up. 6 runs at the moment, and see about earned and everything after this inning. No walks for him, and 1 strikeout. And we talked, Paul, about how consistent he's been. He's been denied wins when he's pitched well enough to win consistently the last month. But tonight, his roughest start of the season just wasn't his night.
Yeah. We're going to see Paredes here get a chance to go long. And this is a big appearance for him because he's put in some quality work on his ERA. He's under 4 now after he had a rough start to the season, and this is going to be a real swing appearance for him, whether he's going to have the kind of season we know he can have or whether he's going to fall back into bad habits here. So this is a big appearance here for Paredes.
Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Paredes' longest outing, 2 2/3 innings. June 21st in Lancaster. His last 9 appearances, 11 scoreless innings.
Yeah, and he's a guy, and we saw it in the confrontation with Somerset here back in May. He's a guy that's not afraid to pitch inside. He's not afraid to get a scowl on his face, and he's not a burner, but he can intimidate a little bit, and he's not afraid to challenge guys. And he's really going to have to bear down here and stop the bleeding and give the Revolution a chance to come back in this game.
His first pitch of the night is high on Amadeus Azueta. He blooped an RBI single to center last inning. It is 6-1 Sugarland. They're at first and third with 1 out. The 1-0 fastball missed up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Previous shortest outing for Lerew was 3 1/3 on May 20th against Long Island. It's the only other time he's given up more than 3 earned runs in a start. The 2-0, and that just missed up and away. And Paredes a little bit off with the first 3. De La Cruz, a quick word for him as he threw that ball back. Maybe a mechanical reminder. Now Eddie looks in and nods yes. The stretch, the 3-0. And he swings, hits it to third. Valdez, a short hop pick to second, and they turn this one. 3-0 green light. The Skeeters do that more than any other team, and this time it backfires. They turn the double play. Sugarland extends the lead, though, with 2 in the inning on 4 hits. 1 error and 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's 6-1.
It's time to put a Mirage in your garage at York Mitsubishi. Get a 2015 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $11,995 or payments at $169 a month with no money down. The Mirage is the best priced car in America today. It gets up to 44 miles per gallon and comes with our famous 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. So stop by York Mitsubishi and get a 2015 Mirage to put in your garage. Where? At York Mitsubishi, just off Route 30 on Roosevelt Avenue in York.
Whether it's for sport, protection, or recreation, Spar Firearms is the best place to go for all of your firearm needs. With a large selection of new and used firearms, Spar carries an array of brands, as well as ammo and other accessories. Whether you're an avid collector, sharpshooting expert, hunter, or weekend enthusiast, Spar Firearms provides everything you need no matter your experience. For the best in convenience, selection, and customer service, visit Spar Firearms, 6108 Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg, and online at sparfirearms.com.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
(6-1) Sugarland, a big lead to work with for Matt Wright. And normally when he's in those situations, locks it down. He's been a frontline starter for them for several years now. And Eric Patterson to lead things off. He may be moving back a little bit or toward a coaching role. He's their assistant pitching coach as Patterson takes down low. And this was the first season since he arrived in 2012 that he did not start their opener. Patterson tripled off him in the first inning and scored. The 1-0. And it's a little bit high, a breaking ball that bounced out of Travis Scott's mitt.
See, so I'll put this as tastefully as possible. When you have his body type, as long as you keep that right arm healthy, that's all that matters. I.e. Bartolo Colon, Alex Fernandez going back a few years.
He's a big boy. He deals and fires a strike, 2-1. Patterson, one more triple will not only move him into the top 10 in league history, it'll tie him for 8th. A couple players with 27, and his next one would join him as Wright gets a very borderline strike call, down and in. It's 2-2. Revs fans let Dave Shirk hear it. And Wright winds above his head, comes home, and missed up and in. Or did he? Patterson a little flinch, and he got a piece of it with the bat handle. It's fouled at home plate.
I don't want to get into a Bob Costas situation. You see that? He went a little too far with Pedro Strop the other night in the Cubs-Cardinals game, and now he has to apologize to Pedro.
Yeah.
Of his own doing. He's not being forced. Doing it on his own.
Here's a ground ball chipped to second. Adams toward the middle, gets in front to field, and throws on to first for the out. One down here in the bottom of the third.
I don't know if you saw a couple of years ago that Bob Costas said that the one thing he never did in his career that he'd like to do is spend a season doing minor league baseball, all the road trips and games and so on and so forth. I think at the time Visalia in the California League had an opening and offered it to him. He did not accept. What do you think about taking a year sabbatical and having Bob Costas take your place, and you can spend a year backpacking through Europe or something?
Here is Nick Ferdinand, and he laces the first pitch down the line and left. And heading for extra bases, he will slide in ahead of his former teammate Lamonta's throw. A double for Ferdinand, who yanked it just out of the reach of Palmero, who reached across toward the line. Now Ferdinand, for the first time with York, was held without a hit in back-to-back games. That streak will end at 2 as he is right back in the hit column with his 14th extra base hit in 26 games with York. Here's Jacob Calderon, who roped an RBI single to Wright in the first inning. Tied the game at 1-1 early, and Wright misses outside a breaking ball.
Well, Jacob's going to be a very good player in this league when he swings as well late in the count as he does early in the count. When he swings early in the count, he gets base hits, and then he's too selective with 2 strikes.
Lays off down low here. It's 2-0.
The guy has a ton of talent. If the coaching staff can just tweak his approach a little bit, or some of the veterans on the team, your Pattersons, a Smith maybe, he is really going to round into a nice middle-of-the-order guy for York.
Yeah, Polo talked with us before the game about that approach. As he takes down low here, it's 3-0. And he came from facing a lot of hard throwers in the Florida State League, among other places. A lot of young prospects, a lot more veterans here who pitch as Wright misses inside. It's a 4-pitch walk, and Calderon is on for the second time tonight.
He's not quite as aggressive first pitch as, say, James Shanks was, but, you know, Etch would have loved Calderon because he's a very much swing hard in case you hit it type guy.
Here's Brandon Boggs, who fouled out at first base in his first at bat. Revs with 2 on and 1 out, trying to answer with something, trailing 6-1 here in the third. Right with the pitch, and he misses up high on it. Our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest tonight. Participant is Lois Brunson. If a Revs player goes yard, Lois will win. Good luck. Win a prize pack from the Revs, Heritage Lawn, and from the station as Wright gets another low strike call that brings about a groan and some chatter from Mace from the Revs dugout. It's a ball and a strike. Mace is getting a little more steamed as Wright misses down and in here, 2-1.
Could you imagine if they actually enforced the rule that arguing balls and strikes is an automatic ejection? Well, you'd be playing 3-on-3 by the time the game's over. And that's not really a comment on the umpiring in this league. Everybody complains everywhere.
Yep.
That's, that rule is the speed limit of pro sports. Nobody follows it, but as long as you're only 5 or 10 over, you're not going to get hassled, and that's pretty much the same thing.
Curveball a little high here, 3-1. Yeah, seen some players this season get away with a lot. Not the 3-1. Wright lifts and looks Ferdinand back.
And the situations they got away with a lot, it's because the ump knew he missed one, so he had to sit there and wear it.
On the 3-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Good hack at a fastball away. Good swing from Boggs. Good heater from Wright. It's a full count. That one was at 89 on our board. Ferdinand a lead from second. Calderon from first. And the 3-2 swung on and skied to center. Almonte moving back on this one. Carries deep. He'll catch it. Ferdinand will tag, though, and moves to third base. Throw is chucked into second. And Almonte sent all the way to the front of the warning track in deep center field. Boggs, unfortunately, hit it to the deep part of the park, but does at least advance Ferdinand. Now it's first and third for Luis de la Cruz. Revs down 6-1. They stranded 2 last inning. Trying to at least get one home here. Runner at third base. Calderon stays put at first. On right, another Texas native. He's from Waco. And comes home. This is down and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Maybe next year we'll put together a Pennsylvania all-star team. We've got Ferdinand, that's a start. Gailey. I mean, we could do the all-Pennsylvania team, or at least 75% of the roster, like Sugarland. 3/4 of the guys are from Texas.
Pitch here is grounded toward third. Palmeiro reads the bounce, gloves it to his left, and fires to first to end the inning. Revs leave 2 runners for the second straight frame. 5 left on through 3. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Paul will have the call as we head to the 4th. Revs trail the Skeeters 6-1.
Remember when the goal was to see how fast you could run home from school, play 99 straight innings of wiffle ball, or jump up onto anything? At WellSpan Health, we think making time to play is still a great goal. Being healthy is how you get there. And just in case your grown-up body can't keep up with your inner child, WellSpan Orthopedics walk-in injury care is there to help with a team specially trained in treating sprains, strains, and broken bones. If you have a WellSpan primary care physician, your visit is added to your electronic health record so your doctor may coordinate any follow-up care. You never need an appointment, and both our Apple Hill location in York and our new Hanover Orthopedics location are open evenings and weekends. You can get all the details about orthopedic walk-in injury care at wellspan.org/injury. At WellSpan Health, it's our goal to help you get healthy and stay healthy, no matter how old you are or how young you feel.
Revolution!
Laser show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Top of the 4th inning, the Skeeters jumping on the Revolution early tonight at 6-1 in the top of the 4th. Edward Paredes, who came in to spell Anthony Lerew in the 3rd after he allowed 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned to begin tonight's ball game. Back on here in the 4th in his 2nd inning of work. Top of the Skeeters order, Almonte, Taveras, and Young due to bat. Almonte, a ground out to short and a fly out to left in this game, 0 for 2. The lefty will step in, advantageous matchup here for the lefty Edward Paredes. And the first offering just away, and the count is 1-0. Paredes' season-long appearance of 2 2/3 innings is probably in jeopardy of falling tonight. He's going to be asked to go long. No warm-up activity at the moment for the Revs as he pumps in a called strike. My mistake, that first pitch did catch the outside corner. Not a very demonstrative call by Dave Shirk, unlike strike two. So it is 0-2. Paredes kicks back and fires once again. Swing and a miss, and nope, they had the count wrong on the board. So I was right the first time. It was 1-0, then a called strike for 1-1. 1-2 the count to Denny Almonte, the Sugarland leadoff man and center fielder. Paredes 1-2, swung on and missed, and this time it's a strikeout. And that's the second strikeout for Revolution pitching tonight, and Paredes first. Willie Taveras, who Lerew struck out, and he popped to third base, steps in, the Sugarland designated hitter. All the damage done by batters 3 through 7 tonight for Sugarland. Delwyn Young's home run, he's on deck, and all 6 Sugarland runs scored by those players. And all but one of those runs driven in by the 3 through 7 batters. Amadeo Zazueta in the 9-hole had an RBI single. So just how the Skeeters drew it up tonight as Paredes misses with the first offering. 1-0 the count. Paredes in his 3rd season with York. This is his 8th pro season. Big swing and a miss on the 1-0. And Taveras evened up at a ball and a strike. Willie Taveras, the former Houston Astro who lives in the Houston area and still in the Houston Metroplex, playing for the Sugarland Skeeters. The brother of former Revolution catcher Luis Taveras, who caught for the Revs on the first 3 York clubs, 2007 to 2009. At the time, Willie Taveras was not with the Astros. He was with the Cincinnati Reds when Luis Taveras was playing with the Revolution, his older brother. Called strike on the 1-1. Paredes sets up for a 1-2. The lefty deals, swinging a grounder, fouled off third base side. We'll do it again at 1-2. 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Skeeters, with the bases empty and 1 out in the top of the 4th. 1 run on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Revolution. Paredes looking for 2 strikeouts to begin the 4th. Swing and a miss. Did he get him? He got a piece. The ball bounced away from De La Cruz. I thought it had bounced off his glove after a swing and a miss, but just off the bat handle, Taveras did get a piece of it, so we'll do it for a 3rd time at 1-2. Edward Paredes, drafted by the Seattle Mariners in 2005, made his professional debut for the Everett Aqua Sox, longtime Seattle affiliate in the Class A Northwest League. His pro debut in 2007. 1-2 pitch misses low, 2-2 the count. Edward Paredes, a teammate of fellow Revolution reliever Stephen Penny, coming up through the Mariners system between 2007 and 2011. Paredes' first year in York, 2013, Penny 2012. 2-2 pitch, rocketed foul, chopper third base side, and a good at bat here by Willie Taveras, refusing to go down. Be the 4th or 5th pitch at 2 strikes here, and that one glanced off Luis De La Cruz before it rolled foul next to the third base bag, and I think Chong Choi is tending to another player in the Revolution clubhouse, so he's unavailable out of the Revolution dugout, the York trainer. So Max, the Sugarland trainer, came out for a courtesy call on Luis De La Cruz, and he's okay. So that's just sportsmanship. There's only 1 medical staff in each dugout, and Chong Choi is tending to somebody, perhaps Anthony Lerew, icing him up after he came out early in this start in just the 3rd inning, unavailable in the Revolution clubhouse. So kudos to the Skeeters and their trainer, Max Mahaffey, checking on Luis De La Cruz. So after all that, it'll once again be a 2-2 pitch to Willie Taveras. Skeeters lead at 6-1 here in the top of the 4th. Bases empty, 1 out. Paredes, a reliever, always goes from the stretch, even with the bases empty. Another ground ball foul pulled to third base off the dugout screen. That's the Skeeters dugout over there. We'll do it again at 2-2. Edward Paredes is 10th in Revolution history in relief appearances in his third season with the club. The 2-2 missing outside, and the count now 3-2 to Willie Tavares. And Tavares, after a long stare down with Paredes, steps out. Looks like everybody's ready to go now. Hashtag pace of play. And here's the lefties 3-2, and it's fouled off the plate. We'll do it again in a full count. Here's a great note here and a long at bat for Willie Tavares from the Sugarland media packet. Tavares is one of 3 players in Major League Baseball history to play in 2 World Series but not be a part of a winning game, joining Greg Myers and Russ Springer. In 2 World Series, Tavares is 5 for 23 in the Fall Classic as a major leaguer. 3-2 pitch, popped up foul, first base side out of play. Nice play by a fan, catching it on the fly. We'll do it again in a full count. Willie Tavares signed as an international free agent by the Cleveland Indians way back in 1999. He was also the first Sugarland Skeeter to be ejected on June 20th this season. All kinds of nuggets in the Skeeters game notes, and missing high, Paredes walked him after a pretty epic at-bat, certainly in time. So Tavares down to first with a walk. Delwyn Young, who hit a solo shot off the Cannonball corner sign in right field to give the Skeeters a 1-0 lead in the first. He grounded out in the second, so he's 1 for 2. Skeeters on top 6-1 with a runner on and 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Travis Scott, the former Rev, on deck here for Sugarland. He will bat, barring a double play ball. If Paredes could roll one up the middle, that'd be nice, as playing close to the bag at short is Starlin Rodriguez. There's plenty of room between he and Valdez at third if Young is able to pull the ball. The switch hitter yanked it to right field as a lefty bat against Lerew in the first, now batting righty against Paredes, and ball 1 low and away after a called strike. 1-1 is the count to Delwyn Young, not to be confused with Delman Young. Delwyn Young is much more mild-mannered. Delman Young seems to find trouble no matter who he's playing for, and he's changed teams quite a bit due to such things. 1-1. Swing and a drive. This one's deep to left. If it gets over the big wall in height, it's gone. It's high enough. It's gone. Delwyn Young, a 2-homer night. That's his 6th of the season. This one's a 2-run shot after the Tavares 1-out walk. And the Skeeters way out in front now, 8-1 over the Revs. Delwyn Young, a 2-homer, 3 RBI night, 6 and 21 respectively for him on the season. And he got one out to the right field alley in the first, and then he hits one over to the big wall and left. And he's done it from both sides of the plate. Pinch hitter with a home run from each side for Delwyn Young. So bases clear, 8-1 Skeeters. In the top of the fourth, they've scored in every inning. And in steps Travis Scott from the left-hand side. 1 for 2 with a single and a run is Scott. Caught for the Revolution in the 2012 season, platooning with Paniagua that year, his only season with York. He's been with the Skeeters the last 3 seasons, including this one. He's one of their mainstays now. Hitting cleanup and catching tonight, the 1-0. And he checked his swing. It didn't matter. Called a strike on the outer corner. 1-1 the count to Travis Scott. That's 8 runs on 11 hits now for the Skeeters. A run on 5 hits for the Revs. They've erred twice in the field. 1-1 from Paredes. The lefty kicks and fires. And breaking ball, tailing low and away, and the count is 2-1. Travis Scott has been very steady for the Skeeters as of late, hitting just .232 on the season, but he's been much better of late as he swings and misses at the 2-1. Out in front of an off-speed offering from Paredes, 2-2 the count. .232 on the season for Scott, but he's hitting .279 in his last 25 games with 9 doubles and 9 RBI. So, playing much better than his numbers would indicate, but he looks at a called strike 3 as Paredes spots one up on the outer half for the second out in the top of the 4th. So Travis Scott down looking. Edward Paredes has collected 2 strikeouts here in the 4th. Unfortunately, a walk and a homer has perhaps put this one out of reach for the Revs. It's 8-1 Skeeters in the visitor half of the 4th inning. Kevin Russo now. Hit and a run scored in the 2nd, hit and a run scored in the 3rd, both singles. Good night for him already. The righty stands in and fouls the first Paredes offering straight back to the screen. 0-1 is the count to Kevin Russo. Drafted by the Yankees in the 20th round of the 06 draft. He played his collegiate baseball at Baylor University in the Big 12, so he's another Texas guy for the Skeeters. Low and inside on the 0-1, 1-1 the count. He's from Boulder, Colorado, though. That's his hometown. Was with the Toledo Mud Hens last year, Detroit Tigers AAA, but he did have some big league time with the Yankees dating back to the 2009 season. 1-1 pitch, swung on, grounded up the middle. Rodriguez moving towards second, fields it, throws him out. Nice play by Stayrod on the 6-3 grounder, and Russo is retired. That'll do it for the top of the 4th, but on the 2-run Delwyn Young homer over the arch nemesis, Sugar Land adds 2 more. 8-1 with the Revs coming up on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
You line your feet up at the edge of the starting block, shake out your arms, and then you push off the block in one fluid motion, fully extending your body, cutting into the water with nothing on your mind but the mechanics. You're a swimmer, and whether it's practice time in the pool or crunch time in a meet, Flying Feet is with you every stroke of the way. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes is a swimmer's paradise. Get suits by Finis, Dolphin, Nike, Adidas, Speedo, Arena, and Tier. Pick up practice gear, team gear, and training equipment like fins, snorkels, and kickboards. The Flying Feet team has high-tech competitive suits, customizable caps, goggles, even goggle repair items. Shower down with swimmer shampoo and body wash, plus suit wash to limit the wear and tear of chlorine. Time to dive into the pool? Then it's time for Flying Feet Sports Shoes. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Paul Braverman back with you for the bottom of the 4th here, Revolution Radio. Talvin Nash, Sean Smith, Wilson Valdez, bottom 3rd of the Revs order here in the bottom of the 4th. 8-1, the Skeeters lead it. Matt Wright not too happy that the Wellspan fruit race interrupted his warm-up routine between innings. To that, I say, your team's ahead 8-1, too bad. And is he really surprised? He's probably pitched 20 games in this ballpark, been in the league 5 or 6 years. He should know what the fruit race is all about by now. Anyway, I'll step off my soapbox and say that Talvin Nash took strike 1 on the outside corner to the big righty. Another big righty, Matt Wright, deals low and away, and the count is 1-1 to Nash. A single for him, but he was left at first in the 2nd. 1-for-1, takes low and away, and 2-1 is the count to Talvin Nash. Eight to 1 Skeeters here, bottom of the 4th. 2-1 pitch from Wright. Nash a hard one-hopper to third. Fielded coming forward by Palmero. Throw to first in plenty of time, and Nash is retired. 1 up, 1 down for Matt Wright in the home half of the 4th. Sean Smith will step in 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Went down swinging in the second. He is the only strikeout victim of Matt Wright thus far this evening. Smith down to just 185 with a home run and 2 RBI, coming back from that gruesome knee injury sustained in last year's playoffs after he hit the game-tying home run, of course, in Game 3 of the Freedom Division Championship Series against the Skeeters. Ball 1 to Smith. Wright kicks and fires, the 1-0 on the way, low and away, 2-0 the count. The YouTube video with nearly 2 million views. The hop heard around the world. It led the 10 p.m. Pacific Sports Center that evening last September. What a moment for the franchise. We just wish it hadn't come at the expense of one of our players' health, but a lot of courage shown by Sean Smith to finish that homer and round the bases as he did. If you're listening or watching on York Revs TV, if you're a fan of the Revolution, I'm sure I don't need to explain it further. My guess is you've seen the video. If not, head over to our YouTube channel now. It'll be the first thing you see. 3-1 offering from Wright to Sean Smith, swinging a pop-up. This one will get into shallow right. The second baseman, Russ Adams, called off by Kevin Russo in right field. Russo makes the catch. 2 down here in the fourth. Wilson Valdez batting batting ninth, rounding out the Revolution order for the second time tonight. At third base in Brian Pounds' stead, the normal third baseman out with a knee injury indefinitely. Valdez will bat with the bases empty and 2 gone. Skeeters lead at 8-1. Matt Wright cruising right along here. Has scattered 5 hits. Has allowed 1 run on an Eric Patterson triple and a Jacob Calderon RBI single back in the first, and 0 since then. Called strike and a ball low to Wilson Valdez. 1-1 is the count. The righty winds and deals, and Valdez pops this one up. Just about the same spot, exact same spot as Smith's fly out to right. Once again, Russo calls off the second baseman Adams. Kevin Russo with a can of corn ×2 in right field to put away a 1-2-3. Fourth inning for Matt Wright. 5 Revs in a row have been retired by the Sugarland starter. 8-1 Skeeters going to the top of the fifth on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Revolution!
Laser show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Waking up with the Zabe. The Steve Zabin Show.
When Mike Weir finally won the Masters as a lefty, it had broken like some 70-year stretch or something like that with no lefties winning. But since Mike Weir took the lid off lefties, 6 of the last 12 Masters tournaments have been won by southpaws. Behold, your stats of the day. Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Top of the fifth inning, a 8-1 Sugarland lead. The Revolution drew even 1-1 in the first, and it's been all Skeeters since then. They've scored in every inning. Lamonta, Adams, Palmero due up here in the visitor half of the fifth. So Johan Lamonta In his second game since returning to York for the first time as a member of the opposition, 2 for 2 tonight, a single and a run scored in the second, an RBI single in the third. The K-Man tonight, he's already had a good night, so he could throw us a bone by striking out here and delivering breadsticks. Maple Donuts call to the bullpen, hard-throwing left-hander Layson Septimo on the hill for the Revs, so Edward Paredes doesn't go as long as we thought he would, just an inning and 2/3, and it'll be a bullpen night from here. First pitch swinging, Lamonta grounds it up the middle for a base hit. Second base side, Patterson had no play, and Limo is 3 for 3 with a trio of singles in his second game back in York. He perhaps took exception to the K-Man designation tonight. And the Skeeters, for the third time in 5 innings, have the leadoff man aboard. Trying to keep their streak of run-scoring innings alive. Ryan Adams now, who appeared in 29 Major League games in 2011 for the Orioles. That was his only Major League time. An RBI single and a run scored in the second. RBI fielder's choice for him in the third. First pitch knocks him right on his front as he shuffles his feet out of the way, low and inside. Septimo knocks him down for ball 1, so that'll probably buy Layson Septimo a little extra space on the innards of the plate to the righty Ryan Adams. Lamonta being held on at first by his essential replacement in the Revolution lineup, Telvin Nash. And here's the 1-0, Septimo deals. Screaming foul ball. Heads up, first base side. That one luckily hit a fascia board, it sounded like, rather than a person. That's good news all around. 1-1 the count on a hard hit strike by Ryan Adams. Adams, 29 games with the Orioles in 2011, but he's been working his way back up. As a broken bat grounder to third will start a 5-4, put out at second, on to first, double play. A great stretch by Telvin Nash, and he's getting up a little gingerly, but he looks okay. Big stretch at first as Patterson had to unload in a hurry on the 5-4-3 relay to get 2 after forcing out Lamonta at second. And a nice play all around by Valdez to Pickett on a broken bat grounder and then to Patterson to Nash. So all 3 fielders contributing to that one. Nothing routine about it. And Lamonta's leadoff single erased by the Adams double play ball. And quickly there's 2 outs and the base is empty. I was going to say Adams, he of a cup of coffee with the Orioles in 2011, trying to battle back to that level, as he was most recently with the New Jersey Jackals in the Can-Am League and last season with the Double-A Chattanooga Lookouts in the Southern League. Called strike to Patrick Palmeiro, 8-hole hitter and Sugarland third baseman. A pair of singles for Palmeiro tonight. The righty steps back in. Septimo's 0-1. Knocks him off the plate a little bit, taking it at the waist. 1-1 is the count. Septimo not afraid to pitch inside, and if he can control his fastball, he's a guy that'll run it up there into the low to mid-90s. He's a guy that can intimidate if he has that measure of control. I wouldn't want to get dotted up by one of his number ones. And the 1-1 pitch fouled off down the right field line into Section 1 in the outer reaches of the Santander Stadium seating bowl. 8 runs on 12 hits for the Skeeters, a run on 5 hits for the York Revolution tonight in the top of the 5th, high and outside to Palmeiro. That'll even the count at 2-2. It's okay for Septimo to be wild as long as he's effectively wild, as is the case with any hard-throwing reliever, I suppose. 2-2 is popped up. First base side, fouled off onto the roof, out of play. Eight to 1 Skeeters here in the top of the 5th. The Revolution looking for a third consecutive victory after a doubleheader split against Bridgeport to salvage that series, and then taking the first of 4 in the series opener last night against the Skeeters, 1-0. 8 shutout innings for Logan Williamson last night. Did not walk anyone. And the Revolution made a solo shot to right field. Jacob Calderon's second home run with the Revolution. They made it stand up as he broke a scoreless tie in the 7th for the victory. Revolution are 1-1 in 1-0 games after last night. This season, both at home against the Skeeters, and 7-6 in 1-0 games all time is what they improved to last night in their 9th season. The 3-2 from Septimo, line drive single into center field. Shortstop side of second into center. Palmero with a 2-out hit. We round out the Skeeters lineup for the 3rd time tonight here in the 5th with Amadeo Zazueta. The Skeeters shortstop, an RBI single in the 2nd, grounded into an inning-ending double play in the 3rd. So the well-traveled Atlantic League veteran, he of Barnstormer, Road Warrior, and now Skeeter lineage, steps in. Septimo deals low and inside. 1-0 the count to Zazueta. Palmero held on at first by Telvin Nash with 2 outs. From the stretch, Septimo deals high and outside. 2-0 the count. Left Camden out of there. Zazueta, previously with the River Sharks before the Skeeters, so that's at least 4 Atlantic League teams he's played for. I don't quite remember if he had a stint with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs or not, in addition to the Road Warriors, Barnstormers, Sharks, and Skeeters, but that's sticking in my head for some reason. And indeed, he spent part of last season with Camden and Southern Maryland, so he's played for 5 Atlantic League clubs, his Amadeo Zazueta. Some might scoff at that. Amadeo might say, hey, somebody always wanted me. I agree. That's how it goes. 3-0 pitch, and Layson Septimo with a get-me-over strike. Taking all the way was Zazueta. No green light there, but the Sugarland Skeeters do like to put the green light on a little more than normal. It'll be a 3-1 with a runner at first and 2 outs. Septimo deals, ground ball to first. Diving is Nash. He can't get it. Diving towards second was Nash. Just sneaks under his glove and rolls into right field for a base hit. So back-to-back 2-out singles here for the Skeeters. That's their 14th hit. Lamonta led this inning with a single, erased on a 5-4-3 Ryan Adams double play. Then Palmero and Zazueta with back-to-back singles. And for the 4th time tonight, the Sugarland leadoff man will step in. Denny Almonte, 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out, and a strikeout. The lefty steps in. Septimo deals, low and outside. 1-0 the count to Almonte. And people always ask. This is Denny Almonte, the outfielder. Not to be confused with Danny Almonte, the former Bronx Little League pitching fraud, who faked being 12 years old and pitched as a 14-year-old to great success in the Little League World Series a decade and a half ago. 1-0 pitch, called for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-1 is the count. It'll be a 1-1 to Denny, not Danny, Almonte. 2 on, 2 out, 8-1 Skeeters in the top of the 5th. Swing and a drive, but it's popped up. Hard hit, but underneath it was Almonte with space, and making the catch is Brandon Boggs in right, and the side is retired. The Skeeters strand 2, but lead the Revolution 8-1. Home half of the 5th coming up on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.
Grabbing an extra maple donut for later.
The brush back.
Brushing the white off your shirt after biting into a fresh powdered sugar maple donut.
The ground rule double.
Quickly retrieving the 2 maple donut holes that got away.
What? 5-second rule. Charlie Donut and the Boys of Summer have a winning lineup waiting for you right now at Maple Donuts. Pick up a fresh hot cup of Maple Donuts famous coffee and one of Charlie Donut's 58 varieties. The perfect double play combination.
The steal.
Opening the box only to discover that someone stole your favorite maple donut.
Hey.
The home run.
Showing up at work with a Maple Donuts Baker's Dozen.
Maple Donuts takes the right.
laser show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
One more half inning in Darrell Henry's dinner break. He'll rejoin for the top of the sixth. Paul Braverman, thanks for joining us tonight on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Wish we had better news to report, but the Skeeters in 5 innings have pounded out 14 hits and lead the Revolution 8-1. The fifth was the first inning Sugar Land did not score in after scoring 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third and fourth. Starlin, Patterson, and Ferdinand, the top of the Revolution order here in the home half of the fifth. Starlin Rodriguez steps in, just his second professional start at short tonight for the young utility man, and he takes ball 1 high from Matt Wright into his fifth inning of work. Just 62 pitches to start this inning for Matt Wright, and a called strike delivered on the outer half of the plate to the righty. Ground out and a fielder's choice so far tonight for Rodriguez. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a drive. This one's headed deep towards the gap and left. On the run, making the catch is Almonte. Sounded great off Rodriguez's bat. Looked like it would be a gap double. Almonte tracks it down. Bases empty, 1 out, 8-1 Skeeters. Eric Patterson, he tripled in the first, later scored on a Calderon RBI single. Of course, Patterson, no stranger to triples. He hit 17 last year to lead the Atlantic League and set a new Atlantic League single-season record, as many of you probably know, and he takes ball 1 inside at the knees from Matt Wright. 1-0 the count to Patterson. Nick Ferdinand, 1 for 2 on deck. The righty kicks and deals. Patterson takes again and takes for a strike this time. Evens the count at 1-1 to Eric Patterson. He's starting to heat up a little bit. He's 4 for 15 on this homestand. And with a 1 for 2 effort tonight, make that 5 for 17 with 2 RBI and a run scored with a double and a triple. And the 2-1 is lined into right, base hit. Patterson with a 2 for 3 night, so to update his numbers on this homestand, make it 6 for 18, having a 333 homestand now. So Patterson hitting in the 220s, but missed about 3 weeks with that quad injury. Back healthy now. You could tell that quad was healthy. The last 2 nights, as he's hit back-to-back triples in 2 games. And he's at first, being held on there by Delwyn Young. Nick Ferdinand will bat and take a called strike on the inner half. 0-1 the count to Ferdinand. 14 extra base hits for Nick Ferdinand, and now 26 games with the Revs. And here's the 0-1 from Matt Wright. Deals it. Ferdinand takes low and away. Evens up the count at 1-1. The righty deals. Ferdinand checked his swing. Did he go? The appeal to first says yes. 1-2 the count to Ferdinand. The Revolution trying to make this one interesting, at least here in the bottom of the fifth. 8-1 Skeeters lead, but a 1-out single for Eric Patterson. Snapped a streak of 6 in a row, retired by Matt Wright. The 1-2 high and away. 2-2 the count to Ferdinand. Just on a tear, as his 0 for 3 yesterday marked the first time that Ferdinand had been held without a hit in back-to-back games since joining the Revolution almost a month ago. 2-2 pitch inside at the knees and a 3-2 offering to Ferdinand here. Matt Wright will go from the stretch with a runner on base. He deals. Ferdinand lays off. Thought about it. came about a quarter of the way and left it alone low and inside. So a walk for Nick Ferdinand. He's still 1 for 2 tonight with a double back in the third, but he was stranded at third base. Patterson down to second, and Jacob Calderon 2 for 2 with a pair of singles tonight. As the only Revolution run driven in, the lefty steps in with 2 on and 1 away. Revolution trying to chip away at a 7-run Skeeters lead. Big swing and a miss on the first offering from Wright, and the count is 0-1. Wright pounding him low and inside at the ankles. .319, 2 homers and 9 RBI for Jacob now. He's had a good start to this series with the game-winning home run last night and the 1-0 win. 0-2 pitch, fouled off. Rolls behind the plate, and the count is 0-2. So Calderon, 2 for 2 today. He is 3 for 5 in this series with a home run and 2 RBI. It'll be an 0-2. Wright looks at his runners, gets the sign from his battery mate Scott, and deals low. 1-2 the count. Matt Wright sets up for a 1-2. The righty deals high and away. 2-2 the count to Jacob Calderon. Calderon played in a career-high 109 games 2 seasons ago between Class A stops Staten Island and Charleston in the Yankees system. Had a good year that year, 15 homers and 66 RBI in a career-high 109 games between 2 clubs in the lower levels of the Yankee system. 2 of the great ballparks, too, that the Yankees prospects are fortunate to come up with. Staten Island and New York City with the view of Lower Manhattan in the New York Penn League, right on the Hudson River. And then a great city, the port city of Charleston in South Carolina. It's where the Yankee prospects naturally go if they move in order from short season A in Staten Island to low A in the South Atlantic League for the Charleston River Dogs. 2-2 pitch fouled off by Calderon. It might have got a piece of his ankle. He walks it off a little bit. Quick meeting on the mound between Scott and Matt Wright to reset the signs with Eric Patterson at second. His 1-out single moved over by Nick Ferdinand's 1-out walk, so Revolution looking for 3 consecutive players to reach base here, but the Skeeters lead at 8-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Wright's 2-2 on the way, and Calderon flinched. No way he went. That wasn't even necessary for an appeal, but Sugarland asked for it. Didn't go. Low and inside, 3-2 the count. Wright has really been wearing out the ankles of Calderon, and he's going to go low and inside again and miss there again, and he walked him after he had him 0-2. So Wright, the game plan there was to jam him low and in. He got a swing and a miss and a foul tip off him, but then he missed there 4 times. And the bases are loaded, so the Revolution have a chance to get back into this one with a big inning here in the 5th. I don't know if they can get it all back now, but they can certainly make this game competitive going into the late innings. So Patterson at third, Ferdinand at second, Calderon at first, a single and 2 walks. In steps Brandon Boggs. First offering, the lefty lines it into left, but right at LaMonta. He makes the catch. Patterson will tag and score easily from third, so not the gap double that the Revolution might have been looking for, but Brandon Boggs does his job. Makes contact, at minimum gets it in the air. And a sac fly for Boggs is his 19th RBI of the year. Patterson jogs home from third on the flyout to Johan LaMonta, and it's 8-2. So 2 outs here. Runners still at first and second, Calderon and Ferdinand after they drew walks. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. It's an 8-2 Sugarland lead, but a big hit or a dinger perhaps by Luis de la Cruz could make this game interesting moving into the latter stanzas. Wright deals and deals a called strike on the outer corner To the right-handed Luis De La Cruz, a single and a ground out for him tonight, 1-4-2. De La Cruz 0 for 3 yesterday, but he's had a good homestand, 4 for 9 in the series against Bridgeport and Sugar Land with a double and 2 runs scored. Popped up foul down the first base side and out of play. That'll move the count to 0-2. So if the Revolution are going to get back in this game, this might be a pivotal pitch as York in danger of stranding 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Wright will deal it to the Revs catcher and 6-hole hitter, but first he'll step off to look back both of his walks back to the bag. Ferdinand at second, Calderon at first. And the 0-2. Swing and a chopper by De La Cruz. Snared by Palmeiro, but he can't get up, and he'll beat it out for an infield single. Between third and short, a chopper that Palmeiro made another nice play on, and he's had no shortage of those in this series. But his inertia took him to his knees as he tracked that ball down, and he had trouble making the exchange from the glove hand to the throw hand, and beyond that, even if he had made a clean exchange, falling to the ground, he wouldn't have had time for a throw. So that is an infield hit all the way, and the Revs have reloaded the bases. Ferdinand at third, Calderon down to second, and De La Cruz at first for the big guy, Talvin Nash. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to Nash. It's an 8-2 Sugar Land lead in the bottom of the fifth, 2 outs, but the Revolution have the bases loaded for Talvin Nash, who takes again low and away, and this time it's a ball. 1-1 is the count. Nash 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out tonight. Skeeters out hitting the Revolution 14-7, but down 6 runs here with the bases loaded. York can get back into this ball game. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Nash chasing it on the outer half. 1-2 the count. De La Cruz was down to his last strike. He gets aboard with a hit to reload the bases. Talvin Nash needs to hit one in the air here, if you catch my drift. Hasn't busted one open yet for the Revs. You know it's coming. Now would be a good time. Here's the 1-2. Wright deals. Nash, good eye. Tempting, but that was off the plate. 2-2 the count. The veteran Wright tried to get a younger player to chase outside with 2 strikes. Nash, a patient move, was not biting. The Revs first baseman steps back in. Wright deals. 2-2 pitch, grounded to third. Palmeiro's got it on a hop, and now he's got Calderon caught in a rundown. He tags him out, chasing him back to second, and that's the inning. The Revolution strand the bases loaded, down 8-2 on Talvin Nash's fielder's choice. Brandon Boggs with an RBI sac fly, and that's all the Revolution can get. 8-2 Skeeters as we go to the 6th. Darrell Henry back in a moment on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
On air, online, and on your smartphone. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Tough one for the Revs thus far tonight, trailing 8-2 here as we go to the 6th inning. Board says 8-3, but I don't believe that second run counted, as Septimo will stay on here for the 6th. Willie Taveras to lead off. Yeah, it's only 8-2. Tag out on the bases. The manual board has it wrong. Pitch to Taveras is over for a strike. And the Revs have had base runners and 7 hits, trying to get back in this one, but left them loaded again. 0-1, and it's bounced foul, third base side. Stranded 8 runners through 5 tonight. And the Skeeters with 14 hits. Taveras 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. Septimo delivers, and a breaking ball. He pops it up, shallow right center. Smitty coming in, and he sees it out of the twilight and puts it away. 1 down. Septimo a scoreless 5th inning despite 3 singles given up. Had a double play to help him out. Paredes, the home run given up by Delwyn Young, who comes up next. It ended a scoreless streak for Paredes that was the longest by a Revs reliever this season. First pitch this time is over for strike 1. Delwyn Young 2 for 3. Homers from each side of the plate tonight, and a total of 3 runs batted in. It's the 0-1, and that's down low. Paredes' scoreless streak had reached 12 2/3 innings before the long ball. 1-1, and a fastball strike, outside corner. Now Septimo steps off. Skeeters 2 homers from Young. Every other hit tonight is a single. On the 1-2, breaking ball. This one hit toward right center again. Smitty tracking over into the gap, and he's got this one. Catch is made for out number 2. This one medium depth after the shallow pop that Taveras had hit in that direction, and Sean Smith gets to both. 2 away, Travis Scott coming up. It's 8-2 Sugarland here in the top of the 6th. Scott 1 for 3, singled and scored, leading off the 3rd. Septimo out of the stretch. He pumps it home. And a fastball a little bit high. Skeeters with bullpen activity. The Revs did make Matt Wright work, and looks like he'll be lifted, but they weren't able to fully cash in. There's a fastball, strike called on the outside corner. Skeeters came into this one next to last in the league in hitting at .247, but one of their bigger offensive nights of the year. Septimo misses down and away. They appeal at 3rd, and Scott held off. Sugarland also on the road had hit only .216 coming in. They were trying to snap an 8-game road losing streak tonight. 2-1, and a foul tip back into the net. They came in 8-21 on the road, compared to 25-11 at home. Septimo, the 2-2, and it misses a little high. They have made up for being shut out last night. Looking for their first road win since June 6th here in York. And Scott takes down low and works a 2-out walk. Now the inning will continue as the second walk drawn by the Skeeters tonight. And Mace to the mound, and he will call to the bullpen here. On our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, they're putting up the Women's World Cup scores as well, and USA with a 1-0 lead over Germany. A penalty kick in the 69th minute. Now playing in the 73rd minute, 1-0. A pitching change. Bo Vaughn will make his way in. Septimo, a nice job, an inning and 2/3 scoreless. And now Bo to take over. We'll take a look at what's going on around the Atlantic League meanwhile as well. Lancaster lost 1-0 at Long Island last night, and they are trailing at Long Island 1-0 in the top of the 7th tonight. Southern Maryland a 4-3 lead in Bridgeport. That's in the 6th. Their magic number is 2 to clinch the first half division title since they hold the tiebreaker over Sugar Land. And they are leading by a run. Sugar Land, though, leading by a lot. And Camden was leading Somerset 1-0, but they are in a rain delay in South Jersey. Some storms around today, but sounded like they picked up steam east of here, so we weren't affected, but still delayed in Camden. River Sharks with a first inning run, and it looks like they're in the second inning in that delay. Bo takes over here. This will be his third appearance since returning from that injury. Kevin Russo, the hitter, and he swings and lines a base hit to left on the first pitch. 3 for 4 tonight. He is the third batter in the Skeeters lineup with a 3-hit game. Now it's first and second, and that'll bring Johan Lamonte to the plate. He is one of those with a 3-hit night. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He has gone from hitting .220 with Sugar Land now to .277 with the Skeeters in the matter of 2 nights. Bo in 2 outings since returning, 2 1/3 scoreless. First pitch to Bo is over for Limo, is over for a strike. Next one, that's in at the knees, a strike called. Well, the 0-2, and a swing and a ground ball rolled to short. Starlin's got it. He'll take it to the bag himself, and the inning's over. No runs, 1 hit. 2 runners left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 8-3, Sugar Land leads.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Savory's Funnel Cakes have brought their delicious funnel cakes from the York Fair to Santander Stadium. Be sure to visit their stand on the third base concourse near the Hop Corner, as they offer both regular and pumpkin funnel cakes. Also, be sure to check out Savory's Funnel Cake Eating Challenge played between innings during York Revolution home games. They also offer event catering. Give Savory's a call at 717-271-3485. That's 717-271-3485. Savory's Funnel Cakes, York's delicious delicacy for all to enjoy.
The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hi, this is Chang Choi. You are listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Now to the bottom of the sixth inning. Well, the plate evidently signaled up here that the third run counted for the Revs. I got to be honest, I was chasing a couple of kids around the ballpark when it happened, so I didn't really kind of talking secondhand here. But now the crew chief, Buzz Albert, just signaled up here that it is only 8-2 because that was a force play. The bases were loaded, even though the fielder tagged Calderon. It would have been a force opportunity at third base. Therefore, even though he tagged him, the run does not count. So it is 8-2 after all of that confusion. And the first pitch to Sean Smith, leading off the bottom of the sixth inning, is taken low. On the 1-0, and that's a little bit low. Skeeters have gone to their bullpen, and left-hander Dan Meadows is in. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. The 2-0, and that's in for a strike. So it's 8 runs, 14 hits, no errors for Sugarland. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for York. Evidently, Dave Shirk signaled up here that the run counted, but Buzz Albert just came down and overruled him. As Smith swings and lines one foul into the Sugarland bullpen, one of them went diving and rolling out of the way while others were scrambling, nearly tripping over him. I didn't catch who it was that dove. John Luan almost tripped over him. The 2-2 to Smith. And he smacks another one that way. It one-hops the bullpen bench. Ricochets into left. And leaping was Andrew Johnston, who rips his hat off and stares in at Smitty, smiling his way as Sean Smith has played pepper with that bench down there twice. Another 2-2. And he grounds one foul off the front of the Skeeters dugout, and the guys on the top step go scattering, and the Revs fans enjoy this. Smitty literally trying to swat them. Another 2-2, and he swings and pokes one off Meadows' glove, deflects it to the second baseman who can't get him. Adams charging in, gloved it, and threw on the run, but Smitty with his speed legs it out. It'll be an infield hit. Deflected off the pitcher's glove and slowed it down just enough, perhaps. Adams probably would have gotten there to have a chance on that ball had Meadows not touched it. The 6'6 lefty, though, couldn't help himself. He attempted to make the play. But if anything, slowed it down, allowing Smitty to leg it out. Here's Wilson Valdez. And he takes a called strike. Meadows had spent some time out due to injury, but come in relief here tonight of Matt Wright, who went 5, giving up 2 runs, stranding 8. He allowed 7 hits and 3 walks. Pitch to Valdez is chipped on the ground to short. Zazweta to his right. Throws to second. The turn to first will be late as Smitty took out Adams on the double play attempt. Now they only get the 1 out, 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Meadows had made 4 starts. It's his first outing in relief. The starts were not good. 0-4 with an ERA of 10. 18 innings, 21 runs, 20 earned, 31 hits, 5 home runs. Opponents hit .378 before he was sidelined. And he will toss over, checking in on Valdez, who's now the runner at first. Starlin Rodriguez at the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the night. 8-2, Sugarland the lead. Pitch to Rodriguez is ripped and fair down the line at third. And this will roll to the left field corner. Valdez to third base, and Rodriguez is in standing with a double. And it's second and third with 1 out. Now Rodriguez, a sharp ground ball fair. And it's second and third on the double for Starlin, who's now hit safely in 12 of his last 13 games played. And here is Eric Patterson, who's 2 for 3 with a triple and 2 runs. Well, he'll try to get some of this back. Pitch from Meadows. He swings and rolls a ground ball to second. Adams to his right, gets in front, throws on to first for the out, but a run will score as Valdez crosses the plate. Now it's 8-3. And Patterson with RBI number 22 on the season. Rodriguez to third base on it. And with 2 away, Nick Ferdinand the hitter. He is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. And Meadows the pitch. It is in there, a called strike. Meadows came off the DL about a week ago. He was shut down after his last start on May 12th. Pitch. It is just outside, and Travis Scott came up and paused for a moment, hoping to get that call. It was close. Pitch, and he misses down low, 2-1. Meadows last year, a pretty good season with Sugarland, and 21 outings, 8 starts, 3-5 with a .377. And back with a changeup here. It's a called strike. And ahead of Ferdinand, or rather even with Ferdinand, 2-2. Sugarland does have a right-hander up in their bullpen. Revs have gotten 1 run back. Pitch. And a foul tip. He's able to protect. Fastball away and deflected it off Scott's mitt. Now Meadows will step off. Rodriguez at third with 2 outs, trying to get another one in. Pitch, and a swing and a miss. He's stuck with the changeup and had Ferdinand fooled on his front foot. Inning ends. The Revs leave a runner at third for the 3rd time tonight. They score a run in the inning on 2 hits and 1 left. And we'll go to the 7th. It's 8-3 Sugarland.
Looking for something cool to do this weekend? Looking for a different kind of family fun? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Get on the ice with your friends for Rock and Skate. The last Friday of each month. Every Wednesday is family night with free skate rentals for the whole family. And remember, the coolest place in town is also available for the coolest birthday party in town. For party package prices and public skating times, check out YorkSkate.com. Want to learn to skate? Want to suit up and learn how to play some hockey? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Learn to skate programs are now available for all ages, for every skating ability. Class levels range from beginner to freestyle, where you'll learn basic jumps, spins, and footwork, and skating rental is included. Or get on the ice for York Ice Arena hockey programs. Taught by Ice Arena coaches, boys and girls can learn proper techniques for the game. Rental equipment is available. Group skating lessons and beginner hockey programs are forming now. Plus, York City residents get a 50% discount. Register today. Go to YorkSkate.com.
Stop by York Mitsubishi and check out the 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, available in both front-wheel and four-wheel drive. Buy for as low as $16,995 and get 0% financing for 72 months while inventory lasts in June. Every Mitsubishi Outlander Sport comes with our famous 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. York Mitsubishi, where Mitsubishis always cost less. Located on Roosevelt Avenue just off Route 30 in York.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 7th, 8-3 is our score. The Revs now have 3. And Ryan Adams to lead off against Bo Vaughn, who misses down and in. Bo allowed a first pitch single, but then got Lamonta on a fielder's choice to end the 6th inning. He'll stay on for the 7th. 1-0 pitch. That is over for a strike. The second time since coming back for Bo that he goes into the dugout and then returns. It's a big thing for a reliever. Pitch here is lifted to left field right at Ferdinand, though, and he's got it. Soft line drive caught for the first out. You always hear them talk about how some late inning relievers don't like to sit down and then come back out. They're all amped up when they first come in. Bo, though, has been more of a long guy throughout his career. And the second time in his 3 outings that he'll sit and come back for another inning. And he starts off the hitter here, Chris Wallace, with a slider for a strike. Wallace subbed in after Palmeiro had originally stayed in. Pitch is a slider, strike called. It's 0-2. Palmeiro stayed in, got a base hit in the 3rd after being hit with a pitch on his hands, but Wallace came in thereafter, and Bo with a fastball that evidently just missed away. At least according to one, it's 1-2. He stared in wanting it. Now the pitch, and a breaking ball, pop foul, straight back. Wallace 1 for 1. It's his 2nd at bat. I beg your pardon, only 2 Skeeters with 3 hit games tonight, but this part of the order has produced 3 hits, or this slot in the order. And now Wallace gets a hold of one and launches it deep to left, and it is gone around the right edge of the arch nemesis and out toward the playground entrance. Chris Wallace with the home run. It's 9-3 here in the 7th inning. His 7th of the year, and the 4th of which he's hit against York. Now has 13 RBIs and 4 home runs in 12 games played against the Revs. A 9-3 game. And here is Zazueta who takes a strike. The first run given up by Bo in 3 appearances since returning. The 0-1 swung on, yanked foul on the ground. And now the guys in Sugarland's bullpen are ready. Jumping away from that soft foul ball like it was a weapon after a couple that Sean Smith had hit their way. Zazueta 2 for 3 tonight. Pitch. And a slider, strike 3 called. Bo gets him looking, 2 away. And Zazueta, a couple of words. That is Bovaughn's 5th strikeout in 3 1/3 innings since returning. Zazueta a little hot under the collar, and Willie Taveras on deck trying to calm him down, reminding him that they don't have any position players left. Here's Denny Almonte, who takes down and away. Almonte 0 for 4 on the night. The only batter to not reach base as Bo misses away. It's 2-0. Pitch to him, and he lines it hard to center. Sean Smith is there, though, scooting toward left center and squeezes it. And that'll end the inning. But Chris Wallace, who did not start this game tonight, is now 2 for 2 with a home run. He adds a solo shot to Sugarland's cause. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's the Skeeters 9 and the Revs 3.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420. or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
Revolution!
Laser Show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
He's a great, great man. Was Muhammad Ali a thug? He was colorful, controversial. But this is a guy who did something before anybody else did it. And we were okay with it. A lot of us were okay because of how Ali looked. Handsome, well-spoken, and poetry. There was charisma to it. Richard Sherman just came out of a game and started yelling right in our face.
Dan Patrick.
On Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Bottom of the 7th, now a 9-3 Sugarland lead. New pitcher for the Skeeters is right-hander Andrew Carpenter. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. And Jacob Calderon will lead things off. On base every time tonight. RBI single and 2 walks. And Carpenter, another hefty righty, delivers, and Calderon blasts one way back in right and gone. It hits the clubhouse on the fly. On the first pitch of the inning. And Jacob Calderon destroys it. Second home run in as many nights. And what a shot that thing was. Off the bricks behind the tents. A titanic home run. He knew it the moment he connected. No doubt about it. Here's Brandon Boggs. He swings and taps a foul. First base side. Calderon is seeing it well. On base all 4 times tonight. 2 driven in, a single, a homer, 2 walks in between. As Boggs swings and misses, Carpenter went off speed. It's 0-2. So now the last 5 trips to the plate for Calderon. Homer, RBI single, walk, homer. Including last night. There's a ball down low. 1-2. A tremendous shot that thing was. He's been fun to watch. It's his 3rd home run with York. 10 RBIs in 14 games. Now the 1-2. And a swing and a bounce foul down to Rami, who's coaching at first. He'll let it roll to the bullpen. Why expend the effort? He would have had to reach for it. He'll let them handle it. Carpenter back to the plate. And this one swung on and belted to right. Russo back, and he gloves it. Now Boggs hits it deep, but this one stays in the park. Didn't have the height that Calderon's shot did. A line drive to deep right, but the catch is made for out number 1. And here is Luis De La Cruz, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Revs now with 10 hits offensively. De La Cruz swings and bounces one to short. Zazueta will sling it across and gets him. 2 down. And Talvin Nash coming up. You know, I don't think we have the defensive changes up here because I don't think the umpires signaled those up to us. It's not Russo and right. Here's Talvin Nash, who swings first pitch, and he crushes one out of here. Talvin Nash, his first Revolution home run. Out over the arch nemesis in left. It's a 9-5 game, and you knew it was coming for the big man. He blasts his first with York. And Nash and Calderon both go deep in the inning. And it's 9-5. Carpenter hung one to him, and Nash clobbered it. 103rd career home run. And you knew it wasn't far away the way he's been swinging. His second hit tonight. And his first home run with York. And that is a sight that Revs fans hope to see more of. They have added a big-time power threat to the lineup in getting him. And he made that arch nemesis look small. Here's Sean Smith, who takes outside. Things sailed way over the big boards and into the York night. Cloud of smoke heading in that direction as Smith swings here and taps one softly to second. Adams charges, throws on the run to get him at first, and the inning's over. But the Revs with a pair of solo shots from the 2 newest position players added to the mix. Calderon with another one, and Talvin Nash clobbers his first. We'll see if the comeback can materialize tonight, even if it's not enough. Offensively, adding some excitement here late. And we go to the 8th. It's a 9-5 Sugarland lead.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis, and Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis, and Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis, and Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
The Revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Go to the 8th inning. It's a 9-5 game. Mike DeMark will come on. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. And leading off is Willie Taveras. First pitch is whiffed on. DeMark was up and hot in the bullpen last night, but they stayed with Logan Williamson in the 1-0 win. He'll get in and get some work tonight, even though he would usually pitch with a lead. Here's a swing and a foul tip. Glanced off De La Cruz's mask. 0-2. Have a winner on our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest, and there was no doubt about those two shots. Lois Brunson is our winner tonight. Congratulations, Lois. Stop by the Apple Chevrolet ticket office at your convenience during normal business hours, and the prize is yours. Now DeMark comes home. And a slider breaks away. Right before Nash went yard, I was set to mention that we had some defensive changes for Sugarland, and what a mess this night has been, as in a couple of different ways. Here's the 1-2, and a breaking ball looped in the air to right. Boggs will scamper in a few steps and squeeze it. One away here in the 8th. Well, first off, they completely screwed up that run in the 5th inning. They signaled up here that it counted, but as much as we would have loved for it to happen, that would have been illegal, and it took them an inning for Buzz Albert to overrule. I also never saw any signal of defensive changes, and they were aplenty for Sugarland. Here's Delwyn Young, who takes the strike. He's now in right field. He was the one going after that line drive that Brandon Boggs had hit. Russo came in from right to play third, and Chris Wallace is at first base. Here's a foul tip back to the net. 0-2. Well, we figured it out eventually. Don't worry, we'll get it eventually. Pitch, and it's lined softly, but over Patterson's leaping effort. And Delwyn Young finds right field with a base hit. Earlier tonight, he had homered from each side of the plate, and now adds a single to his 3-hit evening. Now we'll have to figure out when those changes happen for point streak matters. What a mess. High bottom of the third or fourth. Here's Travis Scott to mark the pitch, and he swings and skies a foul. This will fade out of play off to the left field side. Well, again, we'll see if a comeback materializes any further with 2 innings to go, but you have to feel encouraged with Calderon and Nash slamming the ball out of the park last inning. As far as the offense going forward toward the second half, there's a pitch down and away, 1-1. 2 of the newer additions, and you had to expect, especially with Nash, who hadn't faced live pitching for a few weeks, that it may take them a little bit, but 2 of the new guys leaving the yard. Here's a swing and a foul. Out of play to the third base side. And that's something that if they can be consistent threats, could really help the middle of that lineup, the guys in front of them, the guys behind them in the order. It all works together, and an addition or 2 could potentially really help things fall into place in a good way. Here's a swing and a miss, and DeMarc fans Travis Scott, went right at him with the fastball. 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Revs have now hit 38 home runs on the year. They came in 5th in the league in that department. Here's Kevin Russo, and he takes down low. Russo 3 for 4 tonight, 2 runs scored. He came in already hitting .354 off York. Has added to that. A 1-0. And there's a fastball for a strike at 91. Even that power threat, it's something that not many teams in the league have on a consistent basis. A feared home run threat could be a big impact for the Revs lineup as Russo swings and misses on a high, hard one. 1-2. I think Nash hit a slider on his, actually. It's the pitch, and a fastball misses outside. 2-2. Now the pitch, and a swing and a fly ball toward the corner and right. Boggs hustles over, and in foul territory, he does have room. Disappears from our vantage point, but makes the grab, and the inning's over. Down in the right field corner. No runs on 1 hit and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 9-5 Sugarland lead.
Remember when the goal was to see how fast you could run home from school, play 99 straight innings of wiffle ball, or jump up onto anything? At WellSpan Health, we think making time to play is still a great goal. Being healthy is how you get there. And just in case your grown-up body can't keep up with your inner child, WellSpan Orthopedics walk-in injury care is there to help with a team specially trained in treating sprains, strains, and broken bones. If you have a WellSpan primary care physician, your visit is added to your electronic health record so your doctor may coordinate any follow-up care. You never need an appointment, and both our Apple Hill location in York and our new Hanover Orthopedics location are open evenings and weekends. You can get all the details about orthopedic walk-in injury care at wellspan.org/injury. At WellSpan Health, it's our goal to help you get healthy and stay healthy, no matter how old you are or how young you feel.
Summer is about taking time for what really matters. Spending time with the family, enjoying nature's beauty, having a healthy lawn you can be proud of, plus the time to enjoy it. With Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, you get world-class environmentally responsible lawn care from a hometown team. The result is a vibrant, beautiful lawn that turns heads and boosts curb appeal. Visit us at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Your home for Revolution Baseball. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 8th inning. It is a 9-5 game. Wilson Valdez will lead things off. And the first pitch of the inning is over for a called strike. I believe we had another Sugarland pitching change. I had to leave the room for a minute. Yep, Robbie Weinhardt takes over. Next one is swung on and fouled back over the roof. Valdez 0 for 3 tonight, does have a run scored. It's 9 runs, 16 hits, no errors for Sugarland. 5-11 and 2 for York, your line score tonight. The 0-2. And up high, Valdez started but stopped. The appeal to first base confirms that. The whole fiasco with the run in the 5th inning, I mean, that screwed things up here so badly. And then I still don't think they ever signaled the position changes up. As Weinhardt misses away with a slider, 2-2. So it might have been in the 3rd, might have been in the 4th, but we told you in the 8th. Whatever, the night's not over yet, so we got it in. Same day anyway. The 2-2, and he punches it on the ground at second on one hop. Adams shifting way to his left and got in front and makes the short throw. And one away here in the 8th inning. Valdez jammed on that one. And we go to the top of the order. And Starlin Rodriguez. Scoreless top of the 8th for Mike DeMarc. Revs' 4th reliever used tonight. Here's Rodriguez now, who looks at a slider for a strike. Is 1 for 4 with a double. Pitch. That's down and away. And back to the home run hitting that the Revs did last inning. It's why they brought in Calderon and Nash. Have that type of pop added to the lineup as Weinhardt misses high. And the threat of it. 2-1. Now they can kind of get going consistently. It's the 2-1. That's outside, ball 3. We mentioned how it can really impact the whole lineup, but it could also alleviate some of those runners in scoring position woes. It could help relax everybody, knowing that that threat is in there, and they don't have to put together 4 singles to get a run. The fastball for a strike called, 3-2. Weinhardt winds and delivers, and a foul back off the netting. Brian, our official scorer, was all over that, if not for the net. He was headed to his corner. I tell you, that run fiasco really screwed up his job, that's for sure. Another 3-2. And that's up high. It glanced off Travis Scott's glove and rolls to the backstop. And Rodriguez draws the 1-out walk. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Well, that'll be all for Robbie Weinhardt. Got a ground out, a walk, and now with Eric Patterson coming up, Gary Gaetti is out to bring in a left-hander. He's got 3 to choose from. He had 4 coming into this game and already used Meadows. So a pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. We'll check in on what the other teams are currently up to on our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Lancaster lost 1-0. 1-0. I've been informed that the cannon blasts set off a couple car alarms in the parking lot. Well, anyway, back to our board. The Barnstormers lost 1-0 at Long Island last night, but they were trailing 1-0 at Long Island late into the game tonight and have taken the lead 2-1 with a run in the 7th to tie it, a run in the 9th to take the lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning at Bethpage Ballpark. Zach Jackson is in the game trying to record the final 2 outs. Southern Maryland a 4-3 lead at Bridgeport in the bottom of the 8th. Their magic number is 2 to clinch the first half, but they won't be able to do it tonight if Sugar Land wins. And Somerset up 5-1 in Camden in the 4th. They've resumed that game, and Somerset has come out of the delay, scoring 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and now up 5-1 in the 4th. One of the oddities announced earlier today, it's bizarre, Sugar Land, their season opening win against Lancaster will now count as the first game of the second half. Otherwise, they would have played Sunday's game in Southern Maryland as the first game of the second half since they had started their season a day early. Nobody accounted for that in the schedule. They would have ended up with one more game played before the All-Star break, so to alleviate that, they moved their first game of the year to the second half. So they went from 33-32 in the first half, now to 32-32. They are already 1-0 in the second half. How about that? Here's Eric Patterson, first pitch swinging, and lines a base hit to left. Revs with their 12th hit of the night, and Patterson with a 3-hit game. He jumps on left-hander Hunter Cervenka's first pitch and singles to the opposite field. And it's first and second for Nick Ferdinand. Revs down 9-5 and trying to continue to chip away. Ferdinand 1 for 3, a double, and he's also walked tonight. And Cervenka the stretch. First pitch is bounced to short. Took a high Hobbs his way to gloves, though. Feeds his second baseman, and Adams turns it. As Cervenka gets Ferdinand to hit on top of it and bounce into the double play on the first pitch. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left. Cervenka faces 2 hitters, throwing a total of 2 pitches. Gives up a hit, but records 2 outs. Now we go to the 9th. Still 9-5 Sugar Land.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis... Ace. Raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around, look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will endure opponent after opponent, match after match. Shoes that move when and how you move and stop at your command. Shoes that fit and feel good so your feet are ready and able to take that next set. Flying Feet's team includes Asics, New Balance, Wilson, and K-Swiss in widths that fit. And the Flying Feet staff is always on the sidelines ready to help with your selection. Tennis, it's a whole new game. Be prepared to play it well. Flying Feet. Flying Feet sports shoes just off exit 18 of I-83 right behind Domino's in York.
Revolution!
Laser show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Go to the ninth inning, 9-5. Sugarland leads. Stephen Penny will come in. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. We probably would have seen Santo Manzanillo tonight, but he retired earlier today after 2 outings. Penny is the 5th reliever used by the Revs tonight. Johan Lamonta up first. And the pitch from Penny is popped in the air toward the line and left. Valdez on a sprint. So is Ferdinand, and reached up and couldn't make the grab as he hit the warning track cinders in foul territory. He was at full stride as the footing beneath him changed, and reaching up, it landed just behind him. Good effort. Lamonta tonight, 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run, 3 singles. Penny, of course, was his teammate with York, and the two were together in the Mariners system previously as well. The 0-1 and a splitter just high. Skeeters with 16 hits. The Revs, though, with 12 tonight. It's the 1-1, and he jammed him, grounds it softly to first. Right there is Nash to glove it, and steps on the bag, 1 away. The reason for my laughing attack earlier, both myself and Paul Braverman at various points tonight have had temper tantrums up here because of the run fiasco from the 5th inning, wreaking havoc. So that was what that was all about. Here is Ryan Adams, who's 1 for 4. And Penny misses just inside. Adams also an RBI and a run tonight. A 1-0 pitch and a swing and a looper foul into the stands, right field side. Adams in his debut with the Skeeters tonight. Even with his addition, they deactivated 3rd catcher Kelly Cross today. Pitch from Penny is popped up foul and out of play to the first base side. So they still only had 1 position player on their bench, and right now they have none, with Palmero leaving the game early. Hopefully, for his sake and theirs, it's nothing serious, but Penny into his stretch. The 1-2 and a splitter, strike 3 called. Penny unloads a good one. It tumbled right through the zone, and Adams caught staring at it. 2 away. It is kind of remarkable how often that Travis Scott and Chris Wallace have played in the same game this season, whether it's catching in DH or catching in first base. And here is Wallace, who chops one to short. Rodriguez to the hole. He gloves and fires to first to get him. Nicely done by Starlin Rodriguez in his first game at short tonight. And a 1-2-3 inning for Penny. Scott and Wallace there, they spend all that time in that heat in Texas, and here they are in the same game again tonight. And meanwhile, we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Sugar Land looking to hold off the Revs. It's a 9-5 Skeeters lead.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Broadway Transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They towed in my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man.
I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the ninth, lefty Hunter Cervenka stays in. Calderon is up there swinging first pitch and rifles a foul to the third base side and up over the roof. Cervenka, who got 2 outs on 2 pitches in the 8th, stays in for the 9th, and the lefty comes home, and it's a cutter for a called strike, 0-2. He gave up a single, but then got the double play to follow. 2 pitches, 2 hitters, 2 outs. Now the 0-2 here in the 9th, and it misses down and away. Calderon tonight, RBI single in the 1st. Walks in the 3rd and 5th. Homered against the Revs clubhouse in right field in the 7th. A 1-2 breaking ball, tumbles low. And it was a shot. Last night, his home run, the only run in the 1-0 win. Tonight, much more offense. Now the 2-2. And a swing and a chopper toward first. And there to glove it is Wallace. He will step on the bag himself. And Calderon's stretch of 5 straight trips to the plate, reaching base, is snapped. Here's Brandon Boggs, who's 0 for 3 with a sac fly. Cervenka joined the Skeeters when we were in Texas a couple of weeks back. 5 appearances, 4 1/3 scoreless innings coming in. And he pumps a strike across on Boggs. A fastball at 93. Came in just 2 hits allowed in 4 1/3 innings. 1 walk, 6 Ks. It's the 0-1. And a swing and a miss on a fastball at 94. And he had been at AAA in the Cubs system. released out of AAA this year. Well, the 0-2. And a swing and a little tapper foul, third base side. It comes to a stop on the grass. Tomorrow night, Matt Neal against Shane Lukes. 6:30 again. We'll be on at 6:10. Another 2-strike delivery. And it misses down and away, a breaking ball. Revs fell behind 8-1 after the fourth. They have outscored Sugar Land 4-1 since, but still behind. 1-2, and a swing and a miss. Cervenka gets him on a slider or a cutter, 86. Some sharp downward bite. 2 down here in the 9. Cervenka looking awfully tough. Revs down to their final out. Luis de la Cruz, the hitter. And first pitch, fastball, it's a strike, outside corner. De La Cruz is 2 for 4 tonight. Now the 0-1, and that's a delayed strike call away, and De La Cruz slumps his shoulders and stands there just shaking his head. Revs an out away from going 8-22 in June, which would be their worst full month. The 0-2, and he got jammed but fights it off foul. Little roller to the third base side. It would tie their lowest win total in a full month. They went 8-19 in May of 2009. 8 wins here this June, but a strike away and an out away from having 3 more losses than that previous month. Another 0-2, and a breaking ball locks him up. It's a called third strike. And Sugar Land denies the Revs of a 3rd straight win. They even this series up, winning tonight 9-5 here in York. Jump out to a big lead early. Home runs by Calderon and Nash in the 7th gave the Revs some offensive excitement, but a 9-5 Skeeters win. Cervenka finishes it with a 1-2-3-9. 9-5 is the final. Stay tuned. Post-game show follows next.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.